Previously on Dark Heresy.
Otto and Ferinus both tried writing in the ledgers in the librarium, but the moment they finished writing, the page was wiped blank. The librarian repeated his instruction to call his name if he required assistance, but what was his name? He claimed he had forgotten. Ferinus couldn't help notice there was something familiar about the librarian, something around the eyes, and after a few minutes of pondering this puzzle, Otto exclaimed, "Jeeves!" The librarian responded immediately. It was, in fact, Jeeves, or rather the spirit of Jeeves, who had once been the librarian in the mansion, a guardian of knowledge, a finder of information for Mesmeron and her former team. But after an unspecified event caused by the Inquisitor, Jeeves' spirit or soul had been forced from his body and had become trapped within the Eldar webway construct known as the Mansion. He told you how, when Alyssa arrived riding in Venetta's mind, he had battled with the AI for dominance, believing her to be attacking the Mansion. Alyssa had proven too powerful for him, and she had assumed control of the construct, but had granted Jeeves mercy, absorbing him into herself rather than destroying him, and in doing so learned all he knew. And once in control of the mansion, Alyssa began to absorb all the data she could from Mesmeron's files. And then, when the Inquisitor had learned of Alyssa's presence, Mesmeron did what she always does to new arrivals in her domain. She forcibly entered Alyssa's mind. But Mesmeron was not prepared for such resistance. Alyssa was, after all, not only a skilled psyker in life, but was not exactly human. They battled for dominance, a battle that Mesmeron believes, to this day, she has won. But Alyssa learning all she could, or at least wanted to learn of Alyssa, and believing that Alyssa had destroyed the Jeeves machine spirit, Mesmeron allowed Alyssa to remain in the mansion to keep it running as Jeeves once had. And little did the Inquisitor realise she had not won this psychic wrestling match. Not by a long shot. Alyssa had plundered the Inquisitor's mind, learning a startling amount of information, some of which she believes the Inquisitor does not even know herself. And Alyssa hid this knowledge, along with what remained of Jeeves and everything she plundered from the files within a labyrinth of her own mind. She erected defences against intrusion in the form of her own traumatic memories, hoping they would keep Mesmeron out, and they had. Alyssa, it seemed, knows exactly what makes the Inquisitor tick. Alyssa then purged her conscious memory of all she learned, locking away the secrets within the labyrinth buried deep within the webway construct. The one thing she knew, the one thing she remembered, however, was that she desired greatly to play with Venetta and the others she had deemed as trustworthy, to lure them into this labyrinth, and to show them the things she had learned. Jeeves explained to you the process of solving the labyrinth, to discover what the doors represent, to learn what you can about that subject, and enter the information into the ledgers within the librarium, which would open doors, and beyond these doors you would find puzzles, games, and challenges, and the promise of hidden, perhaps even forbidden knowledge. Meanwhile, somewhere high in the clouds, Siegfried and his new companion Plex performed a daring rescue of Serena, Lady Pagny's handmaiden. It was quite obvious Serena was more than simply a handmaiden, as she strangled and then slit the throat of Lord Barris, before throwing herself into the fight against the Lord's men, feet, fists, and rapier-like sword butchering the household guard. Siegfried fired shot after shot from the shuttle, hovering at the window, dropping two of Barris's men with one shot. Yeah. And as Plex hovered the shuttle closer, his pets Jerry and the boys harried the other guards. Jerry eventually gnawing the foot off one man who bled out, having already lost one foot to a bolt round. The boys struggled against the armour of the man in the toilet, but they kept him from retrieving his weapon and joining the fight. When finally the last guard was dispatched, the data slate containing knowledge of Lord Eldon's heresy was located, and they fled to the shuttle as more guards arrived. Jerry, however, was left behind. But it seemed the data on the slate was intact, and Plex was sure that his lockdown of the apartment complex had ensured it would not be transmitted elsewhere. Over the next few days, life went on for all of Mesmeron's team. Ferinus found a couple of potential recruits. Titulos' strength was returning, and he began to practice with the chainsword given to him by Siegfried. Venetta completed Sally Mark II, and Ferinus' armoured poncho, and began refining her algorithm further, searching the datasphere for signs of the missing black orb. Praxis, like Ferinus, began recruitment but turned up with nothing. and spent some time sparring with a number of practiced drone servitors, wandered around blessing weapons and ammunition. Spring went out into the carnival, which had finally opened up again after the horror a few days earlier, and she began practicing her other skills on carny members and residents of the mansion. And Trantia continued her studies, reading the book given to her by Mesmeron. Meanwhile, in a dank room somewhere beneath the workers' district, Canny began to experiment with the basic lessons he'd been taught by Missy and did a little cooking of another kind too. After a day of beating himself into a frenzy, Gaius went about his everyday life as a member of the Arbeits. Siegfried began to get to know his new life too, and Otto headed to the Decilium Administratum, where he once again set himself up as a data analyst. He began researching Genitor Thalix Graven, the tech priest who had once run the Shattered Foundry back when Alyssa was installed. You already knew from Graven's confession he had tried to slow down what was happening there. He claimed he had sabotaged the foundry and hoped that his tampering and the reduced output would draw the attention of the authorities, but no one ever came. And in the Decilium data slacks, Otto, you found a little information on Thalix Graven. Siegfried. After successfully rescuing Serena and securing the data, you returned to Spire Eldon, where Lady Pagny thanked you profusely. Magos Groose was certain that the data had not been decrypted or transmitted, and Lady Pagny assured you that only she knows the contents of this data slate, the evidence of the Shattered Foundry. And she had initially suspected there was a mole within her house, someone working for Lord Barris, her cousin, who Serena butchered with her bare hands. But Serena brought a little light into the matter. She's told you over the last couple of days, and Lady Pagny, that it was not the data slate Lord Barris was after. That was just a bonus. It was her. It was Serena. Serena had met Lord Barris at a party a few weeks earlier, and it seems the Lord was quite taken with Lady Pagny's young handmaiden. The night she was kidnapped, Serena had been accosted by Lord Barris and several of his men, bundled into a ground car and taken to that apartment where she believes the Lord had planned to have his way with her. But the encrypted data slate had been found upon her person. Lord Barris had become less enamoured with Serena and more intrigued at what a humble handmaiden was doing with such a well-protected, encrypted storage device. He probably also wondered why this innocent young woman didn't seem the slightest bit scared at being alone in a remote apartment with a group of heavily armed men. Serena had activated her tracker. She knew Lady Pagny would come. Senior Tartier Cale Marotti had, to your surprise, admonished Lady Pagny in front of you the night after the rescue, calling her a fool for entrusting this apparently valuable data to a young slip of a girl. Serena bristled at this, becoming angry at Cale Marotti, and then quickly demurred, acting once again the part of a simple handmaiden. Perhaps, you realise, Siegfried, even Lady Pagny's head of security does not know what Serena really is. The following day, this, by the way, is the result of all your dice rolls for the minigame. The next day, you attended a social function with Lady Pagny as her guest. You and Trantia posed as visitors from distant Fenxworld, husband and wife, the lord and lady of a minor house with whom Lady Pagny has close business dealings. Trantia has a little knowledge of Fenxworld, a common world used in cover stories, she has told you. She taught you as much as she could, just enough to get by in idle conversation, should anyone ask about your home. And she chose a name for the pair of you, a name taken from her memory of Fenxworld and its noble houses. And together, you attended a rather dull party, meeting a few movers and shakers within high society, as the visiting nobles from Fenxworld, Lord and Lady Rains. You noticed a number of times during the night that Trantia seemed distracted by Serena, a look of, was it jealousy? Envy? Serena is a very attractive young woman, and she draws the eye of both men and women. Did Trantia see something in her that perhaps reminded her of her own fading youth and beauty? Trantia is, of course, still an attractive woman for her age, but age catches up with all, eventually. Serena has yet to develop the faint lines upon her brow and at the corner of her eyes and mouth. Yes, that must be it. A little mild jealousy. Siegfried, you have 2 days to catch up on to bring you up to scratch with the other guys.
Okay.
So, if you'd like to look at roll 20,
Yes.
I will show you a little thing that I've been working on. Okay, so this is like the power play main screen. It's a picture of Hive Decilium, and in the top left, you'll see your 3 options.
Yes.
So you've got personal improvement, traveling elsewhere, which also can include social interaction with people. It's also used for side missions, intel gathering. The distance traveled affects how much time you'd have to socially interact. And now this can be used in 2 ways. This can be used because you specifically need to talk to someone about something, or you can say, I want to travel here and spend the day hanging out with this person. And in that case, you don't need to role play anything. You can just basically make some rolls to see how your reputation increases.
Yeah.
And then option 3 is power play activities, which relates to your work with Lady Pagny. So for day 3, Siegfried, what would you like to do out of those 3 options?
Okay.
So far, by the way, you've done power play options both days, and you did the higher risk option.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go for the. If I can do an activity, that'd be good.
A power play activity it is.
Yeah, because actually, I'm in on that.
So now I'm going to give you Siegfried's power play card, which you'll all be able to see.
Cool.
This is a bit of information. It gives you a vague briefing. It also tells you exactly how the rules work, what you are doing, and why. So you'll see if you scroll down past that first couple of paragraphs, you'll see working with Lady Pagny. This is the low risk option where you just generate reputation and maybe a little bonus. Social engagements. Social engagements is the higher risk option where you can boost your faction reputation a lot, but you could lose it.
Yeah.
Option 3, Cloak and Dagger, is currently locked. When you reach a certain amount of reputation, you unlock that. And this gains actionable intel. When you've got enough actionable intel, you will unlock option 4, which is where the mini missions come in. So at the minute, for power play, you've got options 1 or 2. Think of them as low and high risk.
Okay, I'll go for the. I'll go for a high risk course because
Gamble.
Because that's the kind of guy that's.
All right. So
when of high risk.
So you get to choose. Where's my activity tracker? There it is. You get to choose which skill you want to roll against for this. This is how you conduct yourself in these social engagements.
Okay.
The last 2 that you did. Sorry, the last one you did was deceive. So basically, you were bluffing your way around by telling porkies.
Yeah.
So you can choose between charm, deceive, inquiry, and scrutiny.
Yeah.
And you can choose this each time you make this roll. But I will tell you now that they have diminishing returns. So if you just spam one over and over and over again, it becomes less effective.
Yeah.
Also, you have etiquette, which gives you a +10 to all 3 of those skills, except inquiry in formal situations, which is what this is.
Okay. So, I'm just going to find. Who else is breed?
Say again, you broke up a bit there, Johnny.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just looking for Siegfried on the thing. Like when I click on Siegfried here, it goes. If it goes to power play.
No. If you go down to player characters, that's your character sheet.
Oh, right. Yeah. I got it. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. So charm, one of them, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay. So go for my charm is terrible.
You get a +10 to it.
But I'll go for it anyway.
You don't have a bonus reputation yet, so it'll just be a +10.
Huh? Ah. Or in technical difficulties. Bear with me.
And right on cue, it's Johnny's first constant deconnect and reconnect of a USB device.
You look forward to it every time.
Yeah, it's more fun when you do it during the intro.
Yeah.
It has like
Tried
a percussive beat if he gets it just right.
I tried to.
It's like turns into avant-garde beat poetry.
Folks.
Previously on boop boop boop.
Okay. Don't know. Fucks. Bloody thing. Roll.
This better be worth the wait.
It probably won't be. That's the thing. I need to get 28. Yeah, my keyboard's not working, but I'll have to just do it manually by clicking with my mouse, which is annoying.
Oh no!
Yeah. So I need 28 for a charm, which will probably be a terrible roll. Yes, that's terrible. Can I use a fate point for that?
Yeah, if you want, yeah.
Yeah, I'll try that again. It's going to be worse. Better. Still terrible.
Okay.
You are, well, yeah. He's actually rolling a little bit better than what it appears.
Yeah.
As in you're adding 10 to that when it's kind of make it look worse than it is.
Yeah, so actually, what's your charm?
You what, sorry?
Your charm skill, Johnny.
Hey, what's that?
What's your charm skill?
My charm skill is 18.
18. So yeah, so you were trying to beat 28. So from now on, don't add your +10. Just do a D100 roll and tell me what you're trying to beat, and we can work it out. Okay, so that's 2 degrees of failure. All right. And next, make a test to gain knowledge through observing and interacting with your fellow nobles.
Okay. And what's that on?
So you can choose awareness, concealment, shadowing, or disguise.
Okay. I'll go and choose awareness for that one.
Okay.
So, get 45.
45, okay.
So, let's roll a D1.
Yeah.
Nicole says hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Nicole.
Nice, 19.
Cool. So it'd be 55 plus 10. So get under for awareness.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
Let me just add that into here. High risk. No. All right. What? What is happening?
And what's the final one?
So that's day 3 done. And then we're on to day 4. So now you can choose again from your power play options of personal improvement, traveling elsewhere, or power play activities again.
I'll choose personal improvement.
Okay.
I'll do some sparring with close combat sparring with that lady in waiting character
Okay.
for 8 hours. Close combat.
She'd be up for that. She likes a bit of that.
Yeah.
Right. I'd like to make a weapon skill test.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very back and forth. It's very close all day. She's very well skilled, but at the end of the day, she's also very young. She hasn't quite got your experience, and you feel that by the end of the day, you actually best her.
Yeah.
Overall, and she agrees with you. She's still got much to learn, but she is startlingly fast. You also realise that you only just beat her, and you never got the impression that she used any of her powers.
Yeah. So,
all right.
She could have owned me up. She was just playing it cool for the old man.
So that's Siegfried caught up. Now Otto. Otto. Jeeves, you smile fugly to yourself. Fugly? Smugly to yourself.
He is pretty
fugly Otto. By the Emperor, you are smart. And after returning from the mansion, you stumbled across the servitor known as Jeeves. And you can see it now in his eyes. The lower half of his face is obscured by the Vox grill that still hangs awkwardly from where his mouth should be. Poor Jeeves. Someone should probably fix that whole dangling Vox grill thing. And you wonder briefly what happened to Jeeves. The manifestation of his essence within the library referred to the event caused by the Inquisitor that led to Jeeves' soul being sucked into the soul stones.
He's smart for his own good.
Perhaps that's not the most pressing of matters to worry about. And in the evening after your return from the librarian, you share a drink with some of your colleagues in the recreation room commonly referred to as the bar. And you looked at the pictures on the wall there. There's a group picked. Mesmeron standing with a group of men and women in the foyer of the mansion. And you don't recognise any of them save for Les, who has real arms in this picture. He's also much slimmer, less greasy looking. And standing to one side in this pic, dressed in the simple robes of an adept, is a librarian. Jeeves. Poor Jeeves. The following day, you headed off into your new false life, and the thrill returned once more as you stepped into a fake identity as an adept of the Administratum. You've done this before on Scintilla. You quickly found yourself accepted with your fake papers and oath cog, for there is always a shortage of workers and a glut of paperwork to be filed and archived in such places as this. You carried out the simple tasks with ease, and used your well-honed knowledge-gathering skills. You managed to rummage around in the archives, learning a little of Genitor Thalix Graven, the man who had been part of Alyssa's installation in the Shattered Foundry, who had run that factorum long before the sinister Cyric Scale had come along. And tracing Graven's accounts, you learned his considerable wealth had not been touched for almost 2 decades. It had dwindled away slowly, a single payment coming out each month over the last 20 years for the cost of rent on an apartment not far from the Shattered Foundry. A lead, perhaps, Otto. You found nothing more in the Desolium archives on this Graven, but perhaps there might be something in Mesmeron's files. She has, after all, an extensive collection of files stolen from the Tricorn Palace on Scintilla. You have 2 days to bring you level with the others.
Okay.
And like Siegfried, you can choose from the power play options, personal improvement, traveling elsewhere, or power play activities.
Okay. Well, to be honest, now that he's got this information, the most obvious thing for him to probably do would be to visit this, try and check out this apartment.
Okay.
So I'd like him to maybe get a team together, like a couple of people, see if we can get a couple of people go to him with him, and then check out this apartment.
All right. So we're not going to play this through properly. We're literally just going to skim over it. Who would you like to go with you? Who would be free on day 3? Praxis, Spring.
The dream team.
Titulos would as well, but it would mean he would lose his chainsaw training that he's already done for the day.
Yeah, no, will not be. He needs that training. So I'll take those 2. I'll take Praxis and I'll take. Venetta's not available, is she?
No, she's already rolled this day.
Yeah.
Far too busy.
Yep.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. So Praxis and Spring.
Yeah.
And you head off. It takes best part of the day to travel there and back and also investigate this place. Spring finds the lock on Graven's door incredibly easy to get into.
Yeah.
Fairly primitive lock.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we? It's literally round the corner and just down the road from the Shattered Foundry, which, as you walk past, you notice is now empty. The gates stand open. The building has gone. The entire building of the Shattered Foundry has been dismantled.
I'll take some pics of that. Compare with what was going on before. Was there before?
And in this rundown, dilapidated hab room that you find covered in dust, sparsely furnished, it literally looks like no one has been here for decades.
Yeah.
But there is, in one corner of the room on a desk, still connected to Desolium's data terminals, a single cogitator.
Yeah.
It is locked down, but you might be able to hack into it, if you would like, with a tech use test.
I'll give it a whirl.
Okay. You do get a plus 10.
Okay. $22. I'm trying to beat.
Yeah, so you got a plus 10 for it, so you pass.
Yep.
You hack into this, and over the next couple of hours, you flick through various files and things like that. And there doesn't seem to be very much of use. However, you notice an anonymous message, and the date on it is around the time that Graven made this large 40,000 throne withdrawal from his account. The last withdrawal, saved from his rent that's been going out.
Yeah.
And this message reads, "Payment received, ready for pickup, enjoy your new life." You also find on this terminal a receipt for a ticket for 20,000 thrones to Scintilla, bought in the name of Ternius Ven, and it's dated 2 days after this anonymous message. It seems Graven bought himself a new identity and managed to get off-world.
Right. Okay. That's a bit of a dead end then, isn't it?
So you now know the name Ternius Ven.
Ternius Ven. Okay.
All right. So that's day 3.
Mm-hmm.
Day 4. What would you like to do day 4?
Day 4, he'd like to practice. I'll just do some rolls. No, the labyrinth's a completely different thing, isn't it? So. He's going to look into. He's going to do some more administrating. Just go back to the administrating and see. Just check the dates of the dates and destinations of shuttles and ships. cross-referenced with the date that ticket was for.
Okay. Give me a common law something or other test.
Administratum, is it? Would it be?
Yes, that's the one, please. Oh, no. Sorry,
No.
I'm wrong. It's not, because that's
It's
to
not.
know things about the administratum.
Yeah.
This would be, I think this would just be a literacy test, please.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
That was without a +10 if that applies.
Yeah, that's fine. All right. You spend a long time looking through these records most of the day. Most of these records are not digitized. You're literally sifting through paperwork. Luckily, most of it is archived by date rather than anything else. And you find a record from around this time, and you piece together from numerous different records, records of a man named Turnius Venn. From his birth 50 years ago, his employment details, his hab location, his medical records, and it's mostly uninteresting. He seems to be a mid-hive worker of little note, no criminal record. His oath cog bears no black marks. He was a simple fab worker, a fab worker who 20 years ago paid 20,000 thrones cash for a ticket to Scintilla. How very unusual. His financial records indicate he was paid a monthly wage of 20 thrones, so he was either a very good thief or got very lucky in a casino. You look again at his financial records. 20 thrones every month, all his life for 50 years. Hang on. This indicates he was working from the day he was born. This is sloppy, Otto. You know enough about forgery and faking data. Whoever did this was an amateur.
Yeah.
There are no other official records on Turnius Venn except one. Dated 6 years ago. An immigration file. Turnius Venn returned to Decilium. But there is nothing more. No financial records, criminal records, or recorded hab location. Nothing. But there is a picture of him. And it does not look like Graven. So it seems he left for Scintilla 20 years ago, and 6 years ago, someone with the same name came back to Decilium.
Right. Okay.
Okay?
Very unusual.
Right. That's that done. That's us caught up.
Brilliant. Thanks for your patience, guys.
Yeah. Sorry that took a bit longer than I expected.
We got carried away last session and carried on playing.
Yeah.
Just doing the solo shit, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right. Day 5. Gaius Mortalis.
Oh no.
For the last few days, your team has been rotated out of the frontline investigations due to injuries suffered at the hands of Gen Ravicon and his flesh cutter fiends.
Flesh cutters get everywhere.
You spent a day battered and bruised, battering and abusing yourself further.
Yes, it's the only way.
And then 2 more days spent making inquiries, speaking with other members of your team and other Arbites within the station, asking the right questions in the right places. Gen Ravakian was a mutant, a well-known political terrorist who has evaded the authorities for several years. It was most unlike him to work with a gang such as the Flesh Cutters, and even more unusual for members of that particular gang to work with such an obvious mutant. And Ravakian, you learn in your inquiries, has yet to break under interrogation, to reveal whatever his next atrocity was going to be. But then again, he wasn't the only survivor of the battle in the old rail station. Intelligencer Esther Beatson, the Verispex agent, sent her hunter drone after the fleeing Psyker, tracking him to a lair when other flesh cutters were found. And 2 days after your mission, Gaius, a second Arbite squad performed a similar raid to yours. The Psyker was sensibly executed on the spot, but others were brought in whole, still kicking, and they are now locked in the cells of Precinct 686. And you've spent a bit of time working with the intel about Gen Ravicon. You know enough about him and the Flesh Cutters now. And the other main movers and shakers that you felt you might deal with in this time within the precinct. And when no one was looking, you checked on the progress of Vinetta's algorithm. So, that being said, on day 5, what would you like to do? You've got your power play options on the screen. So, personal improvement, traveling elsewhere, or power play activities.
Ooh, I would like to travel elsewhere. Resource gathering, social interaction, cyber. Oh no, I can't think of it, but I'll do power play at the moment.
Okay, so I'll give you your little personal version of this. It's largely similar to Siegfried's. But it does have different skills and a little bit of different blurb. You'll be able to read these in your own time. They'll all be available to you. So at the moment, you've got 2 options. Working for Justicar Drummond or Needle in a Haystack. Working for Justicar Drummond is the low risk, generates a small amount of rep. Needle in a Haystack.
Needle in a Haystack this time.
All right. So I would like you to choose between one of the following skills: inquiry, awareness, command, or security, or scrutiny. Sorry. This is how you behave with your fellow Arbite.
Did I go inquiry last time? Oh, nice. You've given me a character. Oh no, that's not that.
You did. You went inquiry twice in a row so far. Yeah.
Where am I? They're all everywhere. Okay, so I'm going to go for scrutiny this time then.
Okie dokie. Give me a scrutiny roll, and you will get. You don't get a bonus. Oh no, you do. You get a +9.
I'll press it now.
So that's pretty good. That 4 degrees of success with a +9.
Brilliant.
And then I would also like you to make a second roll. Choose between tech use, forbidden law cults, interrogation, or scrutiny. It's a straight roll, this one.
Okay. I think I'll go tech use. Oh, no. My mouse just jumped. Yeah, it's tech use. Nope.
Second, I appear to have done something strange. There we go. Right, so that's 4. What did you do this time? Sorry, tech use. Okay, tech use. So it's just a fail. If you just get a 0 fail, if it's not a degree, it's not that big a deal, to be honest. Okay, so you're slowly building your reputation with the fellow members of your squad, and other squads are beginning to hear of you. You've also heard that Drummond's quite pleased with your work, and you feel like you're learning how the underworld works, this underworld that you're trying to peer into. Not the underworld, the underbelly, the seething underbelly of heresy and hate. You feel like you're starting to put things together right now. That was tech. All right. That's day 5 done for you. Canny.
Guys, Mortalis picture on my profile day. I found one for his profile.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Isn't it?
Awesome.
Version.
Right.
Nice.
Canny. After your raid on the flesh cutters with Consuela and Santiago, you learned that the bad Obscura had been killing people in the Italian district had been packed into crates. Yeah, well, you don't know what's going to happen yet, do you? Been packed into crates, marked with the logo of House Rosa, one of the 8 major houses of Hive Decilium, said King Sanchez. And you thought this was strange. It confused you. Because although, you're from the underbelly, you still know a bit of Decilium. And you thought there were only 7 major houses of Hive Decilium. But then you are just an underhive dwelling carny, right? What do you know? One of the last things you did before leaving the mansion was take some cooking lessons from Missy, and over the next few days, you begin to try and put those lessons into practice down in the damp, run-down room given over as your quarters beneath the nightclub known as Ludmilla's Den. And you begin to try another step of cooking too. You soon learn you aren't the only one doing such things down here. The corridors of the Warren, as you learn this place is known, are forever littered with glass vials, needles, injector cartridges, nebulizer mouth caps, and worse. Some come here to make, some come here to buy. And nearly everyone who lives down here or visits this place takes in one form or another. You've seen Obscura made before. You've seen the raw ingredients used, the process. And for these first few days, you try and recreate that. But you just aren't getting it right. Time and practice, perhaps that's all you need. But eventually, you meet a young man named Bean. Bean is cocky and arrogant. But he's all right. You quite like him. And he offers to sell you things. He grins at you through rotten teeth as he makes his offer, offering to hook you up with the raw fungus used in Obscura production, as well as all the other chemicals you will need to turn this harmless, mold-like sludge into the most popular narcotic in Hive Decilium. From now on, if you wish, you can buy the ingredients from Bean to make Obscura at 14 thrones per dose. Obscura costs roughly 28 per dose. It takes you 1 hour to make 1 dose. However, you don't have to do that. On the screen in front of you are your power play options: personal improvement, traveling elsewhere, power play activities. Or you can fuck about making Obscura if you wish.
I need to occasionally do the plot line. So I'm going to do the power play mission activity today, I think.
Okie dokie. Right. So I will give you your personalized power play screen. Dun, dun, dun! And there's Kenny. Okay, so rising to the top, the underworld, Canny and King Sanchez. Bit of blurb on there for you, Al. Read that in your own time. It's always going to be available. So you've got your 2 options. Low risk, low, slow generation of rep. Basically, it's you making yourself known within King Sanchez's organization, hanging around the club and the hidden layer known as the Warrens. You're already quite well known. Or the second option is scoping out the competition. And this is when you work with other members of King Sanchez's organization to make yourself known to the underworld at large beyond King Sanchez's organization. Your reputation has spread far and wide. This can raise or lower your reputation by a considerable amount. Can also provide knowledge with the dealings of the criminal underworld, which is vital to progressing the power play minigame. So, would you like to choose low or high risk, basically?
Oh, it's got to be high risk, I think. So,
Yeah.
I love how you guys are approaching this. All right, so same as the other. Hayden, you're muted, mate.
Sorry.
What do you say?
I said I went back for that a few times and it went wrong.
Gumball!
The thing is, when you make these rolls, you gain a bonus from the reputation you already have. So, there's something to be said for slowly building your rep and then going for the high risk. So you've got the choice of 4 skills like the other guys. You can choose between carouse, charm, deceive, and intimidate. This is how you conduct yourself in and around Ludmilla's den and the Warren. In other words, drinking with people, being smarmy, lying, or scaring the shit out of people.
Okay. I think I will. I'll start off with. I think I'll start off with carouse.
Okay, so give me a carouse test, please. Straight carouse. You haven't got any bonuses just yet.
Okay, 1 degree of success.
Nice. Okay, and then this is the next step is about learning more about the underworld, not just King Sanchez, but the competition too. And again, you have 4 ways of doing this: awareness, which is passively watching people; inquiry, asking pointed questions; interrogation, that's aggressively questioning people. Who's that cunt? That sort of thing. And scrutiny, this is where you single out people of interest and specifically observe them.
Okay, we'll start with awareness, I think.
Okie dokie. What fucking day are we on? There we go.
Day 5.
Right.
Okay, so how's this bit working then? That's on a fail. Destiny is on a run. A reputation fails. Okay, I'm going to. I'll use my fate point, please, Dave.
Okay.
Oh, fuck off.
All right, so what you got? -4 degrees of success. Okay. So this second roll isn't so bad if you fail. You don't lose knowledge. It's the first roll you can gain or lose rep. The second roll, if you fail it, you just fail.
Oh, right. Can I? Oh, I thought I was just reading it here.
I meant to say that to you. Yeah.
So it does say here on your handout that you lose rep on a degree of failure.
You lose rep with King Sanchez, but you don't lose knowledge.
Okay. Well, yeah, I would have used the reroll then because I didn't want to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, basically, you've kind of your behaviour has maybe angered King Sanchez a little bit or irritated him, but yeah, you don't lose any knowledge. Okay. So that's you done for day 5. Siegfried.
Yeah.
Once again, Siegfried. Day 5. Pick one of your 3 options.
I'll go for a low risk one because it's been hinted at that's the best way to go.
Okay, so low risk, you automatically generate a small amount of reputation.
Yeah.
You also get to make a bonus roll, see if you particularly impress anybody. There's no downside to this roll.
Okay.
This is just like a do you get lucky kind of roll.
Yeah.
So I want you to make a peer nobility roll, which is your fellowship with a +10, and you also gain a faction bonus, which you don't currently have. So it's peer nobility, which is fellowship +10.
Okay, so it would be. I'll just let you know what it would be. So
yep,
it would be 36 or 46. My for.
Yep.
So I've rolled it.
Okay, so there's no negative effect. Yeah, no negative effect from that. That just means you don't get a bonus, and you gain a small amount of reputation automatically.
You have a fate point. Which I could be able to... No, he doesn't. He doesn't have a fate point. Ignore that. Okay.
Okay, so that's day 5 done for Siegfried. All right. So then we move on to the next bit. By the way, Siegfried, this new life of yours is in fact not so new to you. Granted, the scenery and the players are different. The social engagement's less somber and austere than what you grew up with, but the game remains the same. Socialites gossiping, mingling, rumours of scandal, business dealings, that sort of thing. You actually do spend some time touring Lady Pagny's Cyberworks. The fictional trade deal into which you've entered with her ladyship involves cybernetic limbs for the workers of your own plant back on Fenxworld, or rather in the orbital dock, where your family plies its trade, tending to the damaged vessels of Battlefleet Calixis. Of course, this is merely a ruse. There is no such trade deal, but you have to keep up appearances. And this new purpose of yours has given you focus. You and Trantia play your parts well, and she is good company. You begin to share a few in-jokes regarding your fictional marriage, and you realise on this, the 5th day of your time here, you have not had a single troubling dream since leaving the mansion.
Interesting.
Okay, so now we move on to the NPCs. What a time to lose Hayden.
Here.
Oh, you're still here? Cool.
Yeah. Just turn my camera off so you can see my crossface.
Radio, mate. Fairness.
Can't see your what face?
Crossface.
Oh,
By your
right.
cross.
I've just had to. Well, don't matter. Doesn't not matter.
Yes, don't go back into it. So,
Yeah.
I find it best to pick at that scab and just to, you know.
so what's happened? No, I'm joking. Terribly sorry. I'm joking.
Oh, dear.
Doesn't matter. Nothing. Well, it just doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Nothing ever matters. I gotta turn my camera now on. Face back.
Still look pretty cross, Hayden.
Oh, my eyebrows are still down. I just don't want to see you. We go.
Fairness.
Yes.
You had planned to take another trip up Hive today, but you were summoned by Pench to the infirmary. And there, you found Gladstock berating Dr. Pench for using some of the last medical supplies he had on trying to ease the hybrid's suffering. His disconnection from the Black Orb had begun to take its toll on the interrogator, but he confessed he did have some good days and some bad. Pench told you of the situation in regards to the lack of medical supplies and that he had asked Canny to help procure more. Pench had initially believed that Canny had forgotten about this, but Spring had told him the pit fighter had not. He had stayed true to his word, asking his friend Chopper Baz to help. Baz had sourced some medical supplies. He knew a man who worked as a guard at a small medicinal factorum, and he was willing to leave the gates of this factorum unlocked and to take a bump on the head in exchange for a large sum of thrones. Fairness, you were tasked by Gladstock to go to Baz and to learn of this man, this guard, and acquire supplies from him, and perhaps also a new vehicle. Mesmeron's flashy, stretched ground car was somewhat less than inconspicuous, after all.
Oh yes, I remember. This is great.
And so Spring took you to the carnival and introduced you to Baz. You even managed to you even managed to persuade Miss Susie Suzuki to tag along, with a little help from Gladstock, of course. And Baz offered to take you to the factorum, and yes, he knew somewhere you could acquire a new transport. He asked for a significant amount of thrones in exchange for his services. And as high as he and his prices were, it was still much cheaper than buying a Cargo 6 truck and the mountain of supplies he promised.
Yes, it's much easier to steal one.
Into the hive you went, you, Baz, Spring, and Susie, who seemed annoyed to be on this simple scavenger mission. You found the truck lockup, where 2 trucks had been left overnight, unattended, Baz told you. You tried to steal one, but drew the attention of several men in matte black body armor, and you battled them and butchered them. Miss Suzuki suddenly seemed to be having a much better time. You stole the truck, taking the weapons and the armour from the bodies of these men, and a number of identification cogs, which later identified them as members of the mercenary company known as Pressure Point. On then to the Chem Factorum you went, and something seemed amiss when the shift change you were waiting for never happened. Baz's contact never showed. But you found the Factorum unlocked, and you entered, finding Baz's contact and several other men and women in lab coats, dead, their skin discoloured, puckered, and blistered. Gas, perhaps, suggested Ferinus. You found the supplies and began to pack them up, and then the corpses rose and attacked you. And by the God, Emperor, they were hard to put down. Baz and Spring were both wounded quite badly, but you weathered most of the damage. Miss Suzuki even seemed hard-pressed, though not for a lack of skill, her short blade dicing the walking corpses with ease, but they just would not die. And surprisingly, Spring had a name for these creatures. Holgast, she called them. Creatures that were once men and women who lived aboard home, but who had dwelled too close to the places where the flicker failed and the nasty came through. Despite Spring's poor grasp of Gothic and just about everything else, you understood what she meant.
I feel like Spring.
The creatures she spoke of from back home were once men who had been exposed too long or too often to the raw stuff of the warp. But you defeated them, and you returned the truck to the carnival, having spent none of the funds Gladstock had given you. You left Miss Suzuki to guard the truck. You gave Baz his payment, and a little more, and he was most grateful, saying if you ever needed him again, you knew where to find him, and he hobbled off towards his shop, bruised and bloody.
Great mission, that.
That was mine and Hayden's little solo mission. It was a lot of fun.
Cool.
Next up is Titulos. What would you like Titulos to do, guys? So, Titulos can choose from the same options. Decide amongst yourselves.
I suggest with Titulos, isn't he the one with the that we put on chain?
He's on chainsaw duty a lot, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what I suggested, guys, is we just leave him on that for however many months we're doing this, and just see what happens at the end of it.
That's really good.
Okay, you're leaving him on chainsaw duty.
Yeah, he's going to get sick of the sight of that thing by.
So one of the other things that Titulos can do, and I'll show you Titulos's page, is he can also train other people in melee, and it halves the amount of time he puts in, but it adds 50% to whoever he assists. So you can have him helping other people get better at melee, while he gets better at melee a little slower if you want.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you look on the screen now, this is Titulos's card. So he can train others. Obviously, he can train himself, and he can recruit. So you want to keep him on chainsword for now?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anyone else we really need to up their melee as the guys. I mean, I would just leave him on solo chain weapons, like indefinitely myself. That's my opinion.
Well, after his last performances, maybe.
His last performance? I don't know what was his last performance. What do you mean?
He always chucks a grenade onto himself and goes, "Goodbye!"
Yeah, he's done it. No, that's not true. He's only done that once. The second time he was shot by a grenade launcher.
What grenade?
He's a grenade magnet.
It's okay.
I will let you know when something happens to Titulos, when he gets better. So you might want to change your mind about what he does, but I will tell you when he does get better.
Let us know when he gets better. We might change his activities.
So Otto, day 5. What would Otto like to do? Personal improvement, traveling elsewhere, or power play?
Otto would like to power play.
Okay, I'll show you Otto's power play card. Otto's got a few options. Otto can research, which also includes helping the other acolytes if they contact him for help. He has a number of places he can perform his research, which you've already started doing. You know, you've done a bit in the Decilium Tower.
Yep.
You can also remotely access the Decilium data stack. Now you've been there a few times. It doesn't grant as much of a bonus, but it gains less attention. So these are all you can see here, all the different places Otto can research. Also, another option Otto has is to vet the recruits.
Yeah, I was looking at that. I'm going to vet the recruits.
I don't think there's any that can be vetted just yet. No, there are a couple of potential ones. Oh no, there are. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. There's a couple.
Vet them, man. So.
Okay, so you spend a full day basically vetting a single recruit.
Yeah.
And there are 2, I believe.
Yeah.
Let me just find them. Right. Where's that gone? How very peculiar. That's very odd. I've lost that file.
That's why I chose it.
Oh no, I know why. I know why it's there. It's on Gaius's sheet. Oh no, it's not. That's weird. Where have they gone? Right, just give me a moment. I have no idea where that's gone. It should be on here.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Right. That is most peculiar. I'll find it. But you can still vet them. I just don't know exactly who you're vetting. So I'm going to give you the really detailed description of would you like to vet recruit 1 or 2?
Okay. Recruit 1.
Oh, mistake.
All right. That's really weird. I don't know where that's gone. Okay, so I want you to make a tech use test. You can choose to do this from a number of places. You can do it from the cogitator in your office for a plus 10. You can do it in the Decilium data stacks for a plus 20, but it's riskier if you fail.
Yeah.
And you also gain a plus 10 for each degree of success. And luckily, I can remember these. It's a plus 20 for the first one. So you basically can choose to have a plus 30 or a plus 40, but the plus 40 has a greater risk if you fail.
Well, I'll go for the plus 40.
Gamble!
No risk, no reward. So it's tech use.
Tech use, yep.
Again. That it. Otto cast.
Oh no.
There was.
I can't see it.
Submit. Right, this is with a plus 40.
Yeah. So that's 3 degrees of success.
Yeah.
So basically, when Ferenus attempts to recruit this guy, he knows so much about him that he gains a plus 30 to his attempt to recruit this guy.
Cool.
As a result of that. Sorry, Praxis. Praxis does that.
Cool.
Stalky guy. That Praxis is a weirdo. I don't trust him.
Venetta. Venetta, what would you like to do day 5? Personal improvement, traveling elsewhere, or power play activities? You don't really have any power play activities, so I suppose that would be crafting for you.
Do I still get to, if you like, I think I've had it before on, if you like, advancing the main plot line, as in trying to discover more about the missing orb, for example.
Yeah, I mean that's basically you just can spend the day refining your algorithm. Yeah.
Can I see where the crafting section is? Where would that be, Dave?
Okay, that is in. And I know my fucking game is getting really unwieldy now. By the way, it's getting obscene. Resources. It's under resources. Venetta's crafting.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't think there's anything there. I don't think there's anything there that I really need to, or really want to carry on with too much. Mechadendrites are nice, but I'm not overly fussed by them at the minute. Is there anyone else who's after any particular gear, by the way? Yeah, I've kind of finished serving Canny now. So if there is anything that anyone's after, do let us know. I'm just going to put her on to her algorithm for the day, Dave.
Okay. So Venetta gets a little more time as well because she doesn't need sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So she gets 12 hours on the algorithm. I would like you to make 2 tech use tests, both of which will be at a +10. Okay. She does make some good progress today, refining the algorithm a little more. I'm just going to have a quick piss, grab a beer, and then I'm going to do a thing.
Do a thing, and then someone else does a thing, and we all do a thing. And soon enough, we've all done a thing, and we're quite happy. Painting, Alan?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm painting some of my Malifaux models. I've been neglecting my painting, really, for quite some time.
It's nice to see some happening. Johnny's always busy with it, isn't he?
Yeah, no, Brownie and Johnny always like tucking away. So, I mean, it's a good time, especially in this particular kind of mini game session. You kind of take it in turns quite a lot, so you get quite a bit of downtime.
That's why I'm doing the extras on my map while you're all doing that.
Yeah, so you got a bit of downtime. So
yeah, it's nice to actually have something to do while this game's going on because I can just do this while it's not my turn and listen at the same time. Yeah.
I just found that my metal paint is totally separated, though. My iron,
My prison is huge, Alan.
Huh?
You'll love it. It's going to be so cool. The world creator. That's how I feel. So,
yeah, it's a fun feeling.
This isn't it. It's nice to know that you'll all be wandering around there on Tuesday. It's gonna be good, mate. It's gonna be good. I can't wait for you both to join. It's gonna be a really good game, yeah? Yeah! That's my Radio Australia accent.
Right.
I'm really looking forward to this. It'll be good.
Venetta. After
yes.
a day of refining your algorithm, Mr. Gladstock contacts you by Vox. His breath is short and laboured, and the rasping, stammered, slurred, and strained speech has once again returned. But he asks something of you, something simple. He's vague at first, and you wonder what he's up to. But you do as he asks. No, he's not. You do as he asks, and you pay Les a visit. Les isn't exactly your favourite person here, but when you arrive in the workshop, he is expecting you, and he gives you a device. And asking if you want to come in and have a drink and read the latest chapter of his book. And no, by the Omnisire, no, you do not want to do that. Gladstock's task makes a little more sense as you take the device from him. You begin to wonder if the interrogator's vagueness was less out of secrecy and more out of a desire to speak as little as possible. And you leave the mansion, head through the carnival as it begins to fill up for the night. You see a few familiar faces. One or two offer you a warm smile, and someone, a woman whose name you don't even know, calls you by name. "Good evening, Miss Vanetta," she says, as she hawks rats on sticks from a tray hanging around her neck. You pass along the bridge. Jax and Strang say hello. Jax even removes his hat, offers you a bow, and parts the waiting crowd of carnival goers for you to pass through. He even offers you an escort if you're heading up Hive, but no, you aren't going far, you tell him. You ride the elevator up through the levels, and it clanks and squeals, and it really needs a little TLC. You pat the control desk fondly, and the squealing seems to ease slightly, as though the machine spirit is appeased. And you smile to yourself. These people in the carnival, Canny's people, greeted you warmly and respectfully. They asked nothing of you, made no demands of your skills. They seemed grateful towards you. Perhaps word has spread that you and your friends found and executed Millie's murderer. But perhaps the truth...
steal into the carnival.
But perhaps the truth of what happened, of how the beast escaped the House of Horrors, has not been revealed. At the top of the ramp, you find, as Gladstock said you would, a vehicle, a Cargo 6, laden with boxes and crates. Susie Suzuki perches on the hood of the truck, her blade across her lap. "About time," she says as she hops down, and she watches you attach the device to the truck. It's a simple task. And you walk back to the elevator. Susie matches your pace, glances back at the truck. "I'd avert your eyes if I were you, Miss Suzuki." She looks at you suspiciously, but she does as you suggest, looking ahead to the elevator shaft. "When you're ready, Alyssa," you say into the comm. And there's a rush of air and a clap of thunder and a brilliant flash of light behind you. Susie spins 180 degrees, her blade leaping from the sheath across her back, and she takes up a fighting stance, and her eyes go wide with surprise. But you, Vanetta, do not slow your pace. You do not look back. You know what Susie sees, or rather, what she does not see. Susie catches up to you, and she peers at you sideways as she walks along. You glance at her. She looks curious, impressed, confused. Perhaps all of these. And you allow yourself a little smile of satisfaction. You ride down the elevator once more, and halfway down, Susie breaks the silence. "You are woman of pitfighter Canny." You aren't sure if it's a question or a statement. How do you respond?
That's a good question. How does she respond? I'm not gonna respond. I'm gonna look her over. I'll look her up and down. But I'm not gonna respond. I don't know how to. Let her make another comment.
She glances at you again in this slightly sideways way she has of looking at things. You get the impression she's assessing you, judging you in some way. But whatever else she thinks of you, she says nothing. Back down the elevator shaft, past Jackson Strang. "Evening, Miss Vanetta." "Evening," says Strang. The crowd is parted. The carnival is in full swing, and you walk side by side with Susie to the shanty house, and you step inside and return to the mansion. Susie strides off somewhere without saying goodbye, and you, Vanetta, return to your workshop, and there, parked alongside...
Before she does, I'm just going to tut. I'd just like to tut to her. As she
Okay. Tut. And there, parked alongside the ground car in the workshop, is a Cargo 6 transport, full of medical supplies. You emit a wide-band broadcast, a blurt of machine cant. And somewhere in the librarium, Jeeves stops reordering the books on the shelves and rolls towards the workshop to begin unloading the truck. Okay, now we move on to praxis. So, again, this one is for you all to decide between yourselves. Praxis can do personal improvement, traveling if you really want him to, or he can do some recruitment of what Otto has vetted. So Otto has pretty successfully vetted one guy, so we can choose to do that.
I would like to hang him.
Or he can. Sorry, Praxis can go recruiting himself.
Okay, make a
Suicide roll.
plus 30.
Nobody likes
So,
it.
so Praxis can
The
go
time there
recruiting
is done,
himself,
Praxis.
or he can basically place anyone that Otto has vetted as a sleeper agent.
I hate practice. You lot decide.
Why do you hate Praxis?
It's your character, mate. He's
It's
yours.
not my character.
He's yours. Yours to do with as you want. He's your busy mate.
Or you can do nothing and be slacks.
I'm sorry. I don't want anything to do with Praxis. It's your
I
problem.
don't
It
really.
doesn't have anything to do with practice.
You can just do the recruit thing. Just empty recruit. Like, we don't have to deal with it.
All right.
You might as well utilise that role. You know what I mean? Get
Sorry,
them.
I'll take some more seriously. Now. So
religiously recruit.
So
meat
the
ability field.
add sleeper cell thing. What's that mean exactly?
Right.
So no one else has got that option so far in the.
No,
Yeah, that's good.
Praxis is considered by Mesmeron to be a good judge of character.
Not
So-
really, because he likes Gaius. So.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
what?
Well,
So what-
exactly? So I mean, there's.
How do you
Well,
know?
real
How
good
do you know he
Western,
likes
but a good
Gaius?
judge of character.
Well, he gives the impression that he likes Gaius.
So
Fine.
basically, the recruitment process is this: one of the people that can recruit, and there's multiple people that can recruit, have to find someone. Once they've found someone, they give that person's information to Otto. Otto vets them. If Otto finds nothing suspicious, potentially heretical, or dodgy that might cause a problem, he then gives that to Praxis. Praxis then goes and tests their faith. And if Praxis does not find them wanting, he basically says, "You will be called upon." And that person is then considered a sleeper agent. Sleeper agents are basically replacement characters for if anyone dies. And also, if you need them, you might be able to call on them in the future. And they all have certain areas of the hive and certain tasks that they're good at.
Okay, so we haven't got anyone who's ready for that process yet. Anyway,
You've
have
got
we?
one that Otto has just vetted. You've got one guy that's ready, and I've lost his information.
Soundless, fine,
So I suggest then that we seeing as Praxis is the only one who can take this step, we might as well do that process whenever we've got someone who we can do it with. So I suggest that we get him to sort out this candidate number one of that Otto's had a go with.
Okay.
You happy with that, guys?
Yep, that's cool to me.
Okay, and because of Otto's really good role, Praxis gets plus 30 to this.
Okay, so I suggest Hayden does all the rolling for Praxis because it's his character.
No,
I mean, if you don't want to do it, I'll do it for him.
I'll do it.
Get a one.
Okay,
I'll make the little bastard.
let me give you Praxis.
Praxis
like-
is that Praxis? That's Vanette.
There you go. You should have Praxis now
Let's have
in the character sheets. So it's a fellowship test at plus 30, please.
I don't know why, but it really gets maybe.
I don't understand why you don't like Praxis. Like, you've actually not had that much to do with Praxis apart from like going into the temple and going, "Hello." And Praxis turned around and went, "I'm not here for Mesmeron, I'm here for you." And now you don't like him.
He's like that. He's like that guy. He turns on his allies.
Fickle
He's a-
Gaius.
Treacherous Gaius.
Yeah, just I can't click on play characters in NPC agents, but I can't click on them apart from bio and info.
Ah, how peculiar. Let me just have a look.
It's okay. It was obviously not meant to be. You just roll a
I feel like I'm gonna have to kill Praxis off just because you dislike him so much.
Well,
Yeah.
look, accept it that people won't like people. Praxis just rubs me up the wrong
That's
way.
life, right? Yeah, that's life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but this guy's like not done anything.
Well,
So
That's
it's
why
the
we
way
don't
you
like
play
Okay, Praxis
him.
finds this guy. I think I've got this written down somewhere upstairs. It should be on my sheet, but it's not. But it's written down upstairs. I'm pretty certain this guy was like a member of the Decilium Sanctuaries.
uh-huh.
And basically, what Praxis finds is there's a lot of corruption in the Decilium Sanctuaries. And after everything Otto found and what Ferinus suggested and what Praxis learns from talking to him, this man is furious with the corruption within the Decilium Sanctuaries. And he wants to see an end to it. And Praxis is, this is the kind of person we want.
It's feeding. It's like an energy vampire.
Poor Praxis. You know, the funny thing is that you know less about Praxis than you do about any of the other NPCs. You don't know anything about him, and you just hate him.
We don't want to know anything.
I know.
No, it's just so boring. I hate him.
I can't help you with that. That's Anyway,
other characters like apart from most one, but really,
I mean, just ask yourself. Think about all the other characters that I've got here. They've all got these interesting backgrounds and weird shit going on, and you don't know anything about Praxis. Maybe there is something about Praxis. Or maybe he is just fucking boring. Who knows? Anyway, Trantia.
We may never find out.
Before it goes chaos and worships dark gods and opens a portal to the end of times. Yes.
Who's that guy that's on Praxis?
There you go.
Okay, so let's move on to everyone's favourite MILF, Trantia.
Yeah. This one's pretty fair. But
Trantia can do personal improvement, traveling everywhere, or power play. Trantia is mainly concentrated on herself so far, reading this book that she's got from Mesmeron. Her power play activities are limited currently to recruitment. And what this is in her time spent with Siegfried, she keeps her eyes out for people within the upper hive, mostly, that she thinks might be worthy recruits. Not all of them are upper hive, because she might bump into the odd mid-hive merchant or servant, things like that. So, yeah, she can do personal improvement, traveling to socially interact, or recruitment. Your guys' choice.
Recruitment.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I would say.
Okay. Who would like to roll for Trantia?
I'd roll for Trantia.
No, you only get to roll for Praxis. Oh dear.
Yeah. Your collar somehow goes off in the train when you start again.
I never like that guy anyway.
You look
Okay.
like a bug.
I would like.
I could have put up for you.
I can't. Sorry.
Yeah, on your thing, I've given you the flyman thing on your picture for your profile, but not your icon. It's really gross. You'll love it.
No, I haven't seen it.
You'll love it. Gross enough for you to appreciate.
So, who's rolling for Trantia?
I'll do it.
All right. So, you're making an awareness test for Trantia, so I'd like you to roll a D100.
Do I have 20 thing on? I haven't got Trantia on here yet.
I know. I just want you to roll a D100, please. I don't want Trantia's character sheet to be seen.
Right.
Skills. Dave's been working on this one privately.
The only reason I'll be honest, the only reason I don't want Trantia's character sheet to be seen is her entire biography is written on it. She's the only character that's got it on there. Whereas all the others are in different files, and I haven't.
Okay. I got 39.
Okay. Trantia doesn't find anyone. at the moment that she's convinced would be useful, but she has spotted a couple of people that she thinks she should pay a bit more attention to.
Okay.
Spring's next. Spring has spent the day off with Theranos and Chopper Baz and Susie Suzuki. So there's no roles to make for her. Sorry, Canny, you're not getting thrones today. But because I like Spring, is this on? Is it membering? The rasp of laboured breath. Recording. It's recording, girl, not remembering. Recording. Right, you are, Gladys. Yeah. Are you all right, mate? You seem a little... I'm fine, girl. Just begin. You sure, mate? Because like one of your eyes is sort of on the floor. Begin, girl. Right, you is. Ahem. Today, Spring had fun. Today, I had fun. Did you, Gladys? Me too. No, Spring. When speaking of oneself, it is considered strange to refer to oneself in third person. Today, I had fun is the correct... Third person? There's only two of us here. No, I mean... forget it. Just proceed. Right, you fucking weirdo. Today, Spring had fun. Spring went with Theranos and the pretty lady with the teeth and Canny's mate Baz and stealed a truck. Well done, girl. We nicked it, done it good, like proper nicked it, and then we nicked some boxes and stuff, and we killed some gasties that were dicking about the place where all the boxes were, and then we came home, and I caught Baz looking at my boobies a few times, and I think he was maybe seeing things or something, because he kept staring at Susie's bum too, like there was something there. So I think he might have had some of them funny little white pills again, because when I had them, I kept seeing little people running around about my hands that weren't really there. And so, yeah, the end. We perhaps need to work on omitting less important facts and concentrate on those that matter, girl. Oh, come on, Gladys, this is boring. A carnival. I want to go to the carnival. If you are to become a full agent, Spring, you must learn to write accurate and to the point reports. But it's boring. I wanted to see the lobster boy. Throne, give me strength. Day 6. Gaius.
Yes, Gaius.
Personal improvement, travelling elsewhere, or power play?
Travelling elsewhere.
Where would you like to go?
I would like to go to the local district, see if there's any scum and villainy I can arrest or help with.
Are you going in full armour, or are you going plain clothes?
Full armour. I would like to see if I can actually plain clothes, and I'd like to see with mesh underneath, and I'd like to see if I can find if anybody's been selling orbs, so I can buy one.
Okay, so you're asking around about the orbs?
Yeah, see if I can buy one.
Or yeah, Xeno relics.
Yeah, Xeno relics I'm asking for, with plain clothes, with mesh weave underneath, just no arbitrary devices on.
I don't need to know exactly what you're wearing. It's more a case of if you're going incognito or, as a full armor. Yeah. All right.
Tried to attack me.
I would like you to make your choice: awareness, inquiry, or what was the other one? Yeah, awareness or inquiry. At plus 10. Yeah, plus 10, please.
Okay, I will do an inquiry then.
Nice. So you spend the day in a district not too far from Port Gaia, one of the districts that your precinct covers, asking around a little on the down low, and you begin to learn about the movement of Xenos relics. You don't find anyone obviously going, yeah, I've seen a black orb, but you start to hear names. I've got one. No,
hey,
you start to hear. You say, this is the one you're looking for. No, you start to hear rumors of names and organizations and people that are rumored to deal in such things. And this is all valuable intel that you can use later. You will gain bonuses to certain things in future because of a result of what you've just done. You can also actively choose to pursue specific names. I'm not going to give you the names because it's tedious, but you can look into these people and see what can be found about them. As a result of this, you have affected the timeline.
Great.
And this is not the first alteration to the timeline since you began Power Play. At least 2 of you guys have already affected the timeline. And I'm just going to be vague like that, just to be annoying. Okay, so that's your day, Gaius.
Thanks.
Canny.
Okay, so Canny, he can't make a bacon sandwich. He can't make Obscura. He's fucked up his first chance to do Power Play and pissed off King Sanchez. He's used his fate point. Canny's gonna have a big sulk, and he's gonna hit up the Obscura pipe, and he's gonna have an all-day bender. He's gonna smash his room up a bit. He's gonna throw his frying pan at the wall. He's gonna fucking start insulting himself. You fucked it up. You fucked it up. You fucked it all up. And he's gonna hit the pipe up really hard.
Okay.
And that's gonna be my day today, I think.
All right. I would like you to make 3 Carouse tests,
Okay.
reducing each one by 20. So start at +30.
Is there any of that bad Obscura left anywhere, or is that?
Oh yeah, you can take the bad Obscura if you want to take the bad Obscura.
I've got my own supply for the minute, so.
Bad days call for bad Obscura.
Well, maybe I'm tempted just to start hitting the bad stuff, but now we might be asking for trouble. So, right, so 3 cruise tests, yeah.
Yep. First one at +30, second one at +10, third one at -10, just to skim over having to make a fucking 1,000 rolls. So that's a pass.
So yeah, 1 pass or 2 passes, and then 1 at 2 degrees of failure.
Yeah, you end up.
How many Obscura should I take off? Is it 3? Do you say?
No, that I just skimmed over the rolls by jumping. So if you want to take 6 doses off, but we'll do it just 3 rolls rather than making fucking shitloads of rolls.
Okay, right.
Because this is all a bit abstract. So
no problem.
Okay. I mean, this is literally just me counting your addiction rather than anything else. Okay, Siegfried, day 6.
Okay. So Siegfried would like to take a low risk option to socialise and stuff as well. Try and find out.
Okay, yep. So you take a low risk option. You automatically gain a little reputation from this, which would put you to. Okay, make a Siegfried test. Make a nobility peer test, please. So it's fellowship +10. Nice.
Yeah, +10, so that'd be 40 success.
Nice. Yeah, very good. Yeah. That's pretty good. Yeah, you attend a few quite mundane parties, but you've always thought this bullshit is a bit mundane. Mm-hmm. But you're charming, you're witty. You think you go away from this party having made a few new friends. Perhaps in the future, this will help spur on your rise through this new society that you're a part of.
Good.
Ferinus, what would Ferinus like to do for day 6?
What would Ferinus like to do?
So Ferinus can do personal improvement, traveling, or power play. And his main power play thing at the moment is recruiting. He can also train others in ranged combat.
I think it's going to recruit. Is what he does at the moment.
Okay. So, by the way, all this stuff might change, and there might be other things for people to do at some point. So, I would like you to make an awareness test at +10, please, Ferinus.
Go for it. Awareness test. Oh, that's guys. Guys, what's Alice? Furnace. Hey, Furnace. Recruiting. Yeah, super recruiter. Oh, that's pretty cool. Well, that sounds a bit. Yeah, looks fine. Let's see. Sheet. So awareness here +10.
Yep. Yes.
Wow.
Oh, did it get an arbiter then?
Oh, wow.
Okay, so now what I want you to do, now what happens is, I want you to roll a D100 and then look at this new screen that Ferinus has.
Yeah, I see it. I'm looking at it right now. So roll
Yep.
D100. That is 23.
Okay.
I'll tell you what that is. That's a cleric.
No, it's not. A 23 is someone from the mid-hive residential.
Oh, sorry. So then you want a second one then?
No. Wait. So, because you got 4 degrees, of success, you would be able to move your roll up and down by plus or minus 40 to select where this person's from. But because you got a critical 1, you can choose where you would like this person to come from.
I'm going to go from the lower hive mutant towns.
Okay.
Seems wrong. Mutants everywhere.
You're just
in old games.
Right. So
I don't think
this-
there's any mutants in this game, is there?
this,
No, exactly. We've now have
I'm sure
now.
there isn't. Yeah, there's no mutants apart from the entire carnival. By the way, because they're from the mutant town, it doesn't mean they're a mutant.
Which means that they are likely
to be. So, also, roll a. I mean, you should normally roll a D100 to determine their class, but you rolled a critical 1, so you can determine their class for this as well, if you want.
It's going to be a mutant assassin.
An assassin. So this guy is basically some sort of mercenary who's caught your eye in these lower
I can
reaches.
claim it for die.
And I would like you to roll a D100, please.
roll another 1.
23.
That's good.
Mutant. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the last one. Yeah, sorry, do it again. Yeah, I'm looking at the last one.
83.
No, he is not a mutant, but he is a lower hive assassin. And at some point in the future, Hayden, because you rolled a critical 1, at some point in the future, I will create that character with you.
Okay. Thank you.
And also, if Ferinus ever dies, you would get to choose him automatically.
Yeah. All right. I'll make him good. Make him
Oh,
real
okay.
good.
Really?
His name's Larry.
Larry the mutant.
Larry the mutant.
So, Titulos, are you carried on with Titulos?
Titulos is chain axing.
Chain swording.
Yeah, we're gonna leave him on. We're gonna leave him on
Yep.
chain.
I will keep asking just to confirm.
End. What should we do that for, Alan?
Otto.
Yes.
Otto, personal improvement, traveling elsewhere, or power play activities.
Traveling elsewhere.
Where would you like to travel?
I don't know. Where is it?
Surely you should have something in mind before you just pick it at random. Otherwise,
No,
you just
no,
travel
definitely. No, I've got no idea.
Just go for a long walk. Go for a long walk, Siegfried.
Well, yeah.
Oh, no, it's Otto, so yeah. Go for a long
Traveling
walk, Otto.
elsewhere. Traveling elsewhere is used for like if you've got some shit to pick up, or you need to speak to a character that is in a certain place, or you've got a side mission, and things like that.
Can I travel to the precinct where Gaius is?
Yeah?
Ask him to get surveillance footage and give them a photo of this man. Say, you run this through the security database and see if you can if anything comes up on security feeds, or can you put an APB out on this person?
Yeah, of course you can. Just wait for Hayden to get back.
Yeah. If they don't beat me to death before I get into the priest, just for being a shuffly peasant type.
If you turned up and said you were here to see Arbeit, Gaius Mortalis, they would call Gaius, and if Gaius says, yeah, let him in, then you'd be fine. But
if Gaius says beat him up, then
they would assume you were they would assume you were an informer or something, wouldn't they?
Down.
Yeah.
If Gaius says have him beaten to a pulp, then
Yeah.
they'll probably do that.
Basically, what I'm doing is I've sent Otto down to your precinct to basically see if I can speak to you and get an APB put out on this image of this person that I've got.
Maybe just box him or something, or video call him. It's the 41st millennium. You don't have to go down there in person. I did this the other day in Dave's game. It was revolutionary. It cut me out of play for basically the whole game.
What technology? Yeah, let's just do that then. Let's just do that. I'll
box him. Oh, okay.
I'll box you and I'll send the details.
Okay, so you're sending that to Gaius, are you?
Yeah.
Okay, so Gaius, you don't have to do that. You don't have to look into that because that's not your area of expertise.
Yeah.
But you do know other people that are good at that shit, like Esther Beatson, for example, could look into that. If you want to give Esther that picture. Yeah?
In my time, when it comes over to me, I'll pass my stuff over to her and try to do anything I can to help her to get Otto's objective.
Okay, so
we're working together at all levels. Awesome.
Who had Esther? Was that Alan?
That's me, yeah.
Well,
do you want to give me a tech use test at +20 for the Arbeit station console, please? Yes. Okay. Within about an hour, Esther Beatson returns to you, Gaius, with a vid file that she's compiled, edited from other vid files. And it shows this man, this Turnius Ven, exactly the same as the picture that Otto found. And you see him striding out of Port Gaia on the day that he submitted his immigration application. And you see him striding purposefully through various parts of the hive. It's all been picked up by surveillance drones, servo skulls, things like that. It's like a composite video made of different sources. And he walks for several hours and he begins to head down hive. And after about 4 or 5 hours, as he gets into a fairly grimy version of the mid-hive, he walks off camera, and that's it. There is nothing more seen of him.
I'll send this to Otto.
Okay. So, Otto, you now have that footage. You know roughly the region that he was last seen in.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll also put a viewing card out for him as a noted suspect for the Absos to catch on them when policing.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Turnius Fen, known suspect.
Yes.
Yep.
Exactly.
When you issue a decree like this, Gaius, you can choose the level of force. So you can say lethal, allowed, lethal prohibited, treat with caution. You can say that sort of stuff.
Non-lethal, wanted for interrogation.
Yes, very smart. Nice one.
Cool.
Okay, cool. We're getting somewhere, guys. It's
Like
all
it.
starting to come together.
Go team.
Okay. Vanetta.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're off to do well. Like Caddy's just in his room. Caddy's just in his room, smashing his room up with an obscura pipe. It's all coming together. Oh, dear.
What's really funny is each of these power play things are designed around the strengths of a specific character. But Canny's like, oh, I'm terrible at this, because all he's done is try and make drugs, which he isn't very good at.
Oh, dear.
Okay, Vanetta, what's Vanetta doing today, Alan?
So Vanetta's recognised that Susie Suzuki might be a threat, so she's going to start designing a new meat cleaver for Canny. I think.
Ooh.
I'm just going to abuse Vanetta and make her Canny's crafting bot. That's the way to do it. So no one's piped up when Alfred. A bit of crafting. No one piped up, did they?
No.
No one piped up.
No, Canny did.
Canny did.
Okay, so I will happily allow a little metagaming when Vanetta's concerned. When you want to say, I wanted to make me something, but I'm not there. I would happily say that you could say, I want something, and Vanetta, if she chooses, can think, you know what, such and such would really like this. Because that's the kind of person Vanetta is. She's a very thoughtful person.
Yeah.
But of course, at the end of the day, it's up to Alan what Vanetta does.
Okay, so she's going to...
But you can meta game that a bit.
Okay, jolly good. So I'm going to start designing a new and improved meat cleaver for Canny.
All right. Just a second. I just need to find something. So I'll probably have to come up with some of this later.
Yeah, no,
but
man.
now,
start the ball rolling on that one. That's all.
Yeah. For now, what I would like you to do is we'll copy Sally Mark II, I suppose. So let's go with the design phase. Let me just find the original document for Sally Mark II, because it'll be very similar. Crafting projects. There we go. Come on, Sally, baby. Come on. Goddamn cloud computing. The future's shit, I've decided. I can't believe you haven't progressed the lathe pistol.
Well, she got a plasma pistol. I kind of feel like
Don't really need to.
I kind of feel like that's pretty awesome as it stands. So
The big difference is the lathe pistol.
I don't know anything about a lathe pistol, I guess.
The lathe pistol, the big difference, I mean, it's not got the punch of a plasma pistol at all, but it doesn't recharge. It's pretty good damage-wise. It's decent armor piercing, but the main benefit is that it never runs out of ammo because it feeds off her potentio coil.
Yeah, I'm totally rocking the plasma pistol. That's
why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Right. So first of all, I'm going to want some design phase rolls. So four armorer plus 30 rolls, please.
Okay, armorer plus 30. Yeah, but seriously, guys, if you do think of anything you do want crafting, like I say, she's got like a few jobs done already. So just if I think about it and pipe up.
This is the time to do it as well. This is why I didn't give Vanetta anything to do, so she can churn shit out.
Really like a new thermos flask.
Oh, what? Sorry.
A new thermos flask for Otto.
Fucking just because see Les, he's probably got one. It might be full of jizz or something, but he's probably got
it
one.
won't be the same. It won't have the personal touch that Vanetta.
Is it armor? Is armor plus 30?
Plus 30, yeah, because it's the design phase is simple, so plus 30.
No, actually, a thermos flask that turns into a silenced pistol.
Like a transformer.
That's more like it. Yeah.
That's a bit more advanced, certainly.
Yeah.
Right, what have you got, Alan?
I think I'm getting a bit of reverb off you, Dave. So I've got one or 0 degrees of success, 0 degrees of success, 7 degrees of success, 0 degrees of success.
Okay.
So four passes.
All right. So I think you've still got enough metal to make this from the hook, actually. So I don't think you need to buy anything. So now I would like, what would that be? 7 trade armor at +10. This is smelting and forging.
So is that smithing instead then?
Sorry, yes, it's smithing. Yeah, good call.
Okay, so smithing at +10, yeah.
Uh-huh.
How many did you say?
7.
3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. I'm going to re-roll my 90, please, with a fate point. 94, fine, fuck off. So I've got 2 degrees.
Yep.
A success, 0 degrees.
Yep.
3 degrees.
Yep.
Then I've got 3 degrees of failure.
Yep.
Then 3 degrees, and then 3 degrees.
Okay, cool. You've got 1 more hour, which is... Are you doing anything specifically unusual about this this meat cleaver?
Specifically unusual.
So, for example, on the meat hook, you originally were going to make it a shock hook, but you instead put the steeler claw in.
I'm trying to think if I might have a lot of fingers. I'm trying to think if I've got anything cool that I might be able to add in. Can I have a little think on that, Dave, and maybe come back to you?
Yeah,
on
of
that?
course you can. Yeah, of course you can.
Okay. So for my remaining hour, I think I'm going to design a thermos flask for Otto.
Thank you.
Just a normal thermos flask?
Just a regular one, I think. Unless you want to, are you serious? You want some kind of hidden pistol in your thermos?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I want is a thermos flask that still holds some coffee, but like, you know where the cup unscrews?
Yeah.
You unscrew that and there's a pistol inside, like in a kind of a hidden, shielded thermos flask. So it's like a concealed pistol. And it also holds coffee.
All right. So this is a little bit more complicated than making a cleaver.
It certainly is, but...
I'm going to make the difficulty -10, but because of the workshop, you get a +20. So give me a armorer at +10.
Okay, bad roll. So I'm going to use my second fate point. I think I've still got 2. Is that right? Even if the burning one is or not? Yeah, I've got 2, so I use my second one.
Burning fate for thermos flask. I love it.
It's the only way. It's the only way, Johnny.
It is
the only way. That's much better. 5 degrees.
It will come in handy. There will be a situation where it.
I sincerely doubt it, but you've asked for it, so you know it would be rude of me not to.
Could you roll 2d10 for me, please, Alan, as well?
2d10. Oh no, that's not right. 2d10. It seems only fair, like, not to just use Veneta solely to make Canny more gear.
Throughout
the entire campaign.
Send a message onto that. It's like you can put the administrator badge on it. That'll make all the guys appear really jealous.
Yeah. We'll make it so.
Okay, what did you get for that 2d10?
A 3 and a 9.
Okay, cool. Moving on to Praxis.
Oh.
Praxis has got no one else to place, so he can do any of the basic shit like skill improvement, traveling, or he can go recruiting. Up to you, Hayden.
Okay, I'm going to stand and slice my throat open.
I'm afraid that won't happen.
Why are you asking me then?
Because I'm asking the group. I'm asking the group, and the group has decided it's up to you. If none of you want to choose, I will do it.
Praxis is going to go and train with his hammer with Titulos in the training arena. Because that cunt needs to get better with his hammer.
Training on his hammer with Titty.
Yeah.
Hammer those to do.
I've had his character card before. I know he either needs to get stronger.
Yeah. So Praxis will gain 50% bonus time. Titulos will lose 50% bonus time.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Trantia.
Trantia is going to just do some work on, do some social stuff. Can she also do the social stuff and add to help enhance her rep a bit more?
Yeah, I mean that's option 2 on power play. Traveling elsewhere also includes social interaction, but if she, option 1 includes social interaction. So, who's she mixing with? Just people within the upper hive, or you can specify. You can specify general upper hive or Lady Pagny and her people.
Probably Lady Pagny and her people, just to learn a bit more about the resources that Lady Pagny has at her disposal. Okay, there's no roles for that. That's just, she's spending some time, she gains some rep. Actually, no, make a fellowship test. I'm wrong. Make a fellowship test. Okay. She gains rep, whatever, but she might get more. Okay.
She might lose more. Who knows?
I can't. Oh, yeah, it's D100, isn't it? You've got the character sheet. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I will remove her backstory so it makes no sense. Okay. That's fine.
Can I use a fate point?
Yeah, she does have fate points.
Yeah.
Or she has a fate point.
I'm going to use that single fate point. Yeah, it's better.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, she gets on real well with Lady Pagny and her minions. End of day 6 is Spring. Spring can do the same, personal improvement, traveling elsewhere, or power play activities. Spring's power play, let's just show her. She's got some options that have come up. Pilfering is what Canny tasked her with. This is her mooching around the carnival, doing sleight of hand. And then a comment was made to her by Gladstock, "You're not that good, girl. Not yet." This is something that was said to her in the mini mission that Hayden did. This option is not yet unlocked, but it will be soon. She also has the option of wherever I may roam. And she just goes and does whatever she wants. Wanders around the hive. You don't know exactly what this will do yet, but she can choose that. She can't choose you're not that good, girl, not yet. But she can choose wherever I may roam or pilfering. It's up to you guys.
I think we should stick her on that roaming one to see what happens with that. Give that a try.
Yeah,
something a bit different.
It sounds opportunistically great.
Yeah, it does sound good.
All right. Okay, so that's the end of day 6. I'm just going to go for a piss, grab a beer. We'll do day 7.
Flying through the days now.
Canny so far, he's nearly wasted a full week, and he's probably, I think, he's made things worse than if he hadn't done anything at all.
Got really high. He got like off his face.
So that's always a bonus, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I came in. I can't think I got high. Singing it.
Right, I'm just going to.
All right. Power play day 7. Hayden, are you there?
Yep.
Cool. Gaius, what would you like to do with your daytime?
Guys would like to do a bit of power play.
Okay. Gaius. PP.
PP.
Unfortunate abbreviation. All right. So, Gaius, you know the options by now. You've got low risk or high risk.
Frank, come away. I would like to power play my. I would like to do the high gamble one.
High risk. All right. Set you on high risk path. There we go. Okay, Gaius. So, would you like to choose inquiring around the Arbite station in the local area, awareness, just watching, command, which involves, ordering your new friends around, or scrutiny, which is really focusing on a certain individual?
I just need to change my internet connection.
Yeah, you've gone a bit chippity-choppity.
Are you there, Dave?
Yep.
Someone's gone.
Hayden, I think.
Hello?
Hello.
How's it going?
All right.
Now, Ruby.
Oh, where's that gone? There it is. So, what are you going for, Hayden?
I'm going for a bit of scrutiny because I went inquiry last time. No, inquiry because it's power play, the big one. We'll go inquiry because we've got a better chance.
All right, just 1 second. Let me see what your bonus is for that. It's a good bonus. It's a good bonus. Bonuses from Power Group Reputation. I'm looking at the wrong one. High risk.
High risk.
Inquiry. Okay, so you will get to your inquiry test this time. You will get a plus 13.
13.
Yes.
Yes. There we go.
Nice.
Power play successful.
Yes, it is indeed. Okay.
I was ready to use a paper for that, but
Next up, information gathering style. Would you like to use tech use, which is Vinetta's algorithm, forbidden law, cults, interrogation, or scrutiny?
I'll use. Well, it was scrutiny. Yeah. I'll use scrutiny.
Okay.
Any bonuses or just normal?
I'm just working that out. No, this is a straight scrutiny test. You can't lose anything on this, though. You can only gain.
I'm going to re-roll that.
Yep.
Yeah, it's completely the opposite way around. 3.5, 3.5.
Okay. So, yesterday you spent some time in plain clothes wandering around one of these areas near Port Gaia. Today you return and you start asking the right questions, looking for certain peoples that you noted yesterday, and you find them. and you observe them. And these people that are on the Acolytes wanted list, not wanted as in bring them in, execute them, just, persons of interest, you start to learn a lot about their behavior, about what they're up to. And you report back to Justicar Drummond with what you've learned. And Justicar Drummond is very pleased with what you tell him. You've made some good progress today.
I've ripped some good assholes.
Yes. You have now gained 2 knowledge of the Decilium underbelly.
Yeah.
You need 10. That was just today, sorry. You need 10 to unlock the next stage. You've got a total of 5 right now.
Wow, been good.
Okay.
Work.
It's working. This is only after a week, remember, as well. So, it's working slowly. All right. Gaius.
Yes.
At the end of the day, after giving this briefing, Drummond, well, you didn't give it direct to Drummond, you file a report, which Drummond sees. And as the day comes to an end and you head off towards your little hab block, stripping off your armor, ready to spend the night flagellating or whatever you do, Karel Haffard walks past you, the young lad from your unit, on his way to the locker room. And he says to you, Justicar wants to see you guys.
So I turn around and go to see the Justicar.
Okay. So it's up. It's like the precinct's not a very high building. It's quite sprawling, but it's only about 3 stories high. And you head up to the upper floor, and it's this massive ferrocrete bunker. It's more like a military bunker in the middle of the port than anything else.
Okay.
And you get to the top, and you find your way to Justicar Drummond's office.
Hey, doggy.
And the door is open as you approach.
Yep.
Would you like to enter?
Well, the door first, which is an open door, but
Okay.
I'll say permission to enter, sir.
All right. He glances round at you. He's peering out of the window, the armoured window at the far end behind his desk. And he says, "Please, Mortalis, come in."
Court coming, sir. And I'll step into his office and stand to attention the other side of the table, or whatever is stuff behind.
Yeah, he's behind his desk.
Yeah.
Um,
Attention.
He stares out the window for a few more seconds, and you can see from here through this armoured, it's like a pillbox window. It's not massive. You can see that he's just gazing out to the south of Port Gaia at the open space, which is under Decilium's open sky. It's not in the hive itself. And he turns to you after about 30 seconds and says, "Shut the door, please."
Turn over, walk over, shut the door, quite subtly instead of slamming it, and
Okay.
Turn back and address him.
You see him reach under his desk and touch something, and you feel this boom, sound in the room deadens for a moment. The air seems to still as he activates his privacy field. And he looks you up and down and says, "Good first week, Mortalis. We've been after Revakian for some time. Seems strange to me, though, that he was working with them flesh cutters."
I see. There's always more to be found out, I reckon. We can only search, drive around.
Now, as foul as them fucking cunts are, it's not them that interest me. Those boys are 10 a penny. Revakian, however, he's special. He's responsible for a number of attacks over the last few years. Arbite precincts, administratum facilities, churches and temples, you fucking name it. He makes these... Say again, sorry, I didn't hear that.
It's pretty harmless now, isn't it?
Make a fellowship test with. Wait for it.
This is comedy talk forum.
This is how about humour.
How about humour?
Yeah, it literally is. Oh shit!
Don't have a good pun
There we
when
go.
someone dies. You're not an arbite.
Make
Oh,
a
no.
fellowship test with a +10, please. Sorry, a +12. Weirdly.
Fucking God, that's better. I'm going to re-roll that.
Yep.
I have a lot of, oh no, it's slightly better. He doesn't find it funny.
He doesn't seem to notice your little joke. You maybe think Drummond doesn't have much of a sense of humour. It totally bypasses him.
Okay.
Um,
Feel the crickets in the room.
I lost my sense of humour in the trench war.
a tumbleweed rolls past.
Yeah. And the Australian outback guy just gets slightly louder. It's like he's held away.
Ravakian makes these little propaganda vid reels and tries to broadcast them on official channels. So far, they've all been stopped before they got out of the population as a whole. But this is something now we have him in custody. And him working with the flesh cutters, he's changed tactics, working with the gangers. The thing I don't understand is he's always been so hard to capture, elusive, and working with the gangs is pretty overt. We watch him, see, for this sort of thing. But now, thanks to this Miss Beatson and her little skull chum, and your efforts too, we've got a few more of them boys, them flesh cutters, and they'll talk a little easier. Maybe you ought to be having a word with them when you've got a bit of time.
But don't expect miracles. Last time I got pissed off and shot the last guy to death. So, you know, that's
He says, well, if you're really struggling to avoid that temptation, may I suggest not taking a firearm in with you when you interrogate them?
Okay, I'll try to remember that this time. But I'm always equipped.
So we've got about half a dozen of the flesh cutters and Ravakian down in the cells.
Okay.
I've added you to the access list should you wish to speak with them.
I would like to do that. I'll find out some information. Don't worry.
And he turns and looks back out the window. He says, you ain't from here, are you, Mortalis?
From 47 Capella. This is a bit of personal information.
Now, look, son. That's none of my business. I didn't need to know
I know
that.
you don't, but just to know for worlds wide, before you tell me how hard this world's going to be, I'm fucking 47 Capella.
I'll be honest. I don't know where the fuck that is.
No, it's a world which was eaten by demon incursion, basically. Yeah,
Sounds lovely.
Yeah, this is lovely about here to be.
Me, see, I'm Desalian born and bred, and I'll die on this rock. I'm certain of that. But you stay in one place long enough, you get a feel for it. You learn to read the signs, yeah?
That's very true.
Like changes in air pressure before a storm. He points out the window at the sky. The yellow-brown clouds that almost blot out the sun's light cover the sky of Desalium. You've seen this before. But it doesn't block out its heat. And far to the south where he points, you see what he's pointing at. A much darker patch of cloud, and a jagged bolt of green lightning arcs down from the clouds, striking some distant, forsaken patch of the wastes. There's a storm coming, Gaius. I can feel it.
You'd be right. And I'll just gaze out the same thing as that.
You stand together watching as this storm begins to break on the distant horizon, and you can't help but think he's right. Something's coming. But what it is,
As bad as what happened to my world. And I look over with a discontent, like an uncomforting look.
you don't know what's coming, but you think he's right. Something approaches. Canny. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna crawl out of bed.
Yeah,
Look
you
around
feel
at
pretty
devastation.
fucking rough today. Really rough. And the shithole accommodation that you have isn't helping you one bit.
Okay, I'm gonna crawl out of bed. I'm gonna force myself out into the hive. I'm gonna do power play. I'm gonna go for the easy mode one, which I hopefully can't fuck up. Because there's something. Can you explain something to me? Because
Yes.
I'm trying to understand how it works. And I'd like when you do that. Did Hayden do the high risk one in his last day? Is that right?
Yeah. Yep, he did.
Because I thought you said to him like when you because there's two parts to it, right?
Yep.
And the second part, the information part. Did you say that he couldn't lose rep from that?
You can't lose. Right. So the first part is about power group rep, which in his case is the Arbeits.
Uh-huh.
The second part is about gaining knowledge and rep with his leader.
Okay.
So that applies to you. The first part, you can gain or lose rep with the Decilium Underworld. The second part, you can gain and lose rep with Sanchez, but you can't lose knowledge.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. Fair enough. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'll do some work for King Sanchez.
You're just working for the king. Okay, so you just gain a small amount of rep. But I would also like you to make a peer underworld test, which is fellowship plus 10.
Excuse me. Spot on.
What have you got?
0 degree of success. I needed a
Okay,
39,
so-
and I got a 39.
Cool. That's better than a kick in the balls. All right.
Kick in the balls.
So you are off the mark now. You do actually have some positive rep just from doing that one day of low risk.
Okay.
Okay, and you spend most of your day just hanging around Ludmilla's den and the Warrens, getting to know people, chatting. People are just generally impressed to see you because, you know, you are a bit of a figure of legend. And Canny, after this day, it's late evening when there's a knock at your door.
I'm gonna look around at the state of the room. I'm gonna go to the door. I'm just gonna open it up a crack.
Santiago stands there swaying, moving to the music, blaring out of his earpieces, and he goes, "Hey, Canny, there's someone to see you, SA, up the stairs in the den, yo."
Right, SA. You're looking a lot better. Looking a lot better. How's the what's her name? How's Consuela? Is she all right?
Yeah, she's still all strapped up, yo. I mean, I'm not feeling too good, you know, but yo, keep yourself buzzing, don't you? He gives you a wink.
You certainly do. And I'm going to give him a knowing wink back. And I'm going to leave my room.
Yep.
Head upstairs.
Okay, you head up into Ludmilla's den. And Ludmilla's den is rammed when you finally get there. It's quite a walk. You're several levels below Ludmilla's den. And this nightclub is crammed wall to wall with stumbling drunks and spaced out obscura heads and dozens of off-shift mid-hivers trying to get a few hours of fun in before a shit night's sleep in a run-down, roach-infested hovel of a hab, and then back to the grind and repeat for the rest of their days. The monotonous life of the hab worker, the factorum menial, the vent scrubber, the worm paster, and you can see them all here. They make up most of the clientele, but amongst them, moving easily through the throng with practiced ease, you see the brightly dressed young men and women with hairstyles and colours as outlandish as their clothes. They smile easily, readily, and they sell the ups and the downs that the proles crave. Some offer other services too, But that's the deal with the Brotherhood, you've begun to learn. You make your contribution in whatever way you're comfortable with, or you leave. But no one leaves, you've realised. No one wants to. Sanchez is many things, but he is not cruel, he is fair, and he can always find a way for people to work for him. Some of it is even legitimate, you've begun to learn. For those with a less of a stomach for the shadier side of life. Couriers, barmen, messengers, drivers. Word is he's recently opened up a tailor shop, thanks to a young man who came to him for help from further up the hive. But for all these lost souls that Sanchez has found life for, a way of surviving without Oathcogs bonded to a major house, there are countless millions more who are not so lucky. And every evening, a few hundred of these are chosen to be allowed entry to Ludmilla's den, where they can drink and dance and take chems and fuck. And maybe, for a few hours, they forget their lot in life. Santiago weaves his way towards the bar, leading you, gently moving a young man out of his way whose glassy eyes stare into time and space itself, and you follow him. He points to a bar, and there, dressed in a long black coat and a wide-brimmed hat, sipping on a ploin juice, is a familiar face. Vinetta stares wild-eyed at the goings-on. It makes you realise how naive to the ways of Desilium she really is. She is a native of this world, like you, but she has seen so little of it. She turns and sees you approach. Hi, Canny. She smiles awkwardly, blushing slightly as she brushes a strand of hair away from her face.
What are you doing down here, Vanessa? It's not safe for you here.
I'm going to look around awkwardly.
Well, it was Spring's idea. She got all excited after the carnival and said she had a business thingy she wanted to discuss with you. And I don't know what she's taken, Canny, but she was all over the place, and there was no stopping her coming. So I thought it was best if I came with her too, to keep an eye on her. And I brought you something. And she holds out a package, something metallic, wrapped in a piece of red cloth.
Gonna look at it. Gonna sniff it.
Smells like metal.
Okay. I'm gonna open it up.
A meat hook, similar to Sally, but so much more finely made. A replica of your original hook, shattered by the heretic Somnus Halbrel, finished in a dark grey metal that reflects hardly any light. It feels lighter, somehow better balanced. The tip is terribly sharp, a black material that seems to glint a faint green as though coated in something. There's an inscription on the hilt, but you cannot read.
I'm gonna stab myself with a hook. It's a little light stab. I'm just.
As you try to do this, she grabs your hand and says, "Careful with the tip, Canny."
Oh yeah. I think that one might have missed him, so you might have got away with that one.
I made it from a claw of the beast Otto killed in the carnival. It's a little venomous somehow, still. Don't ask how, I don't know. I wasn't expecting that.
I say, it's a thing of beauty, Finetta. I don't believe it. It's amazing.
I'm going to take it up. I'm going to make a big show of looking at it and hefting it around and trying it out. I'm going to say,
I think this is better than Molly. I'm going to use this as my primary weapon.
And it is incredible. The balance of it is so perfect that you gain a +10 weapon skill to all uses with it. It's also a balanced weapon, so when you parry with it, you gain an additional +10. It's also toxic.
okay,
It's a good job you didn't stab yourself.
I'm well aware that it's toxic, Dave.
Yeah, but Vanetta's trying desperately not to let you stab yourself with it.
Caddy wants to lick it. He just like.
It looks so tasty, the green. Oh.
He wants to lick the tip.
So does Vanetta.
Oh.
I'm gonna heft the hook. I'm gonna go over to Vinette. I'm gonna give her a big, awkward hug. Pick her up, spin around. Even though I'm like sweating with Obscura, come down sweat. Give her a good big spin round, and then put her down again.
No one's given me anything like it, Vinetta. It's amazing.
I would like.
It's
you
a
to
masterwork.
It fucking is. She rolled really good on this. I would like you to make a fellowship test at +25.
It's a bare minimum pass.
Okay. She grins as you spin her. He says, It's my pleasure, Canny, but I'll be honest, that's not really why I came. And she tries to point at the dance floor, but you keep spinning her, so she's kind of pointing like this.
All right, where's she then?
You look around at where she's vaguely pointing, and you see Spring. There's a raised dance floor in one corner of the club. And Spring's there, thrashing around. Her mohawk never strays out of place. And she's dancing with great vigour amongst a group of men and women in bright clothing. One of the women is tall and muscular. She doesn't move very easily. It's Consuela. And she seems amused by the appearance of this random stranger who has brazenly joined the little private dance party of the Brotherhood.
Okay, I'm gonna walk up.
As you
see if I can
approach,
see if I can get her eye. I was just about to say, see if I can get her eye.
She sees you approach and she leaps down off the podium, rushes across you and begins to yell in your ear. All right, Canny, this place is fucking incredible. It's almost as good as the carnival, but better, but not, because it's not the same, but it's full of light. And there's a little green man that keeps following me around, but he's got no feet, and I don't know how he walks. And some bloke gave me a load of these little white pills, where I say gave, but he wanted me to go back with him to his hab, and I was like, yeah, boy. And then I followed him outside and gave him a clunk on the noggin, and I just took him. Do you want one? And she holds out a handful of little white pills.
Yeah, I'll take a couple and knock them back.
So the thing is, Kenny, and she pops a couple. I'd like you to make a Carews test, please. You're back to full, so +30.
Back to full. Okay.
Yeah, you're fine. For now. So the thing is, right, me and Fezinus and the Chops and Toothy Bum Lady, we stole the track and a load of shit which Baz said he found for you, for pench for you. So thanks loads. And never mind. And then anyway, Baz said the track was going to go for a load of phones, right? And we just took it and didn't give no one no phones. And then the men, they was going to pay for Pench's shit, and we was all like, grrr, and we done them in, and they didn't pay. We didn't pay them either. So we had all these phones, right? And well, Fez had the phones, and I was like, Kenny likes phones. So Spring tried to get them off Fervius and give them to Kenny. I mean, I'm not a third person. I'm sorry, I'm not a third person because she's a second person. But if
don't let anyone tell you're a third person. Don't let anyone tell you're a third person. You're not.
Sorry. I'm a bit excited. Baz says, hang on, you got something there on your face. And she leans in and grabs something off your face and holds it up, but there's nothing there in her hand. And she puts it in her mouth, chews and swallows, says, that'll learn a little fecker. Yeah, Baz says if he'd known stealing a track in the Penchy stuff. Sorry, it would be that easy to have nicked. He would have thought of you before he did it, and he was like, all right, Spring, I'm going to steal another truck in it. You want to come with me and I'll split the phones with you? And I was like, yeah. But I had to ask you first, Kenny, because you told me I couldn't steal from your peeps. And I was like, ooh, what if the truck is one of Kenny's peeps? What if he's got a truck friend?
You made a very good point. I'm going to, Kenny's going to take a while. He's going to try and process this. His brain's going to try and catch up with that second. So, I'm going to say,
so what happened to my thrones then? You say Fairness has got them. Can I have a fucking word with that fucker if he's got my thrones?
No, you don't understand. I've got some of your phones. I've got some of your phones. Baz has got some of your phones. Hang on. The problem is, Kenny, that the carnival's been closed since the thing with the and all that. But
I
yeah,
do know. I do know. Yeah. Yeah. So
I got you some phones. And she reaches into her pocket and she pulls out some thrones. Where's Spring gone? It actually says on Spring's character sheet, thrones for Canny. Oh God. There you go. And she gives you 15 thrones. That's all she's got because the carnival's been shut.
So let me get this straight. You ripped off a truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you got some stuff for Pench. So
Yeah.
that sounds good. And now you're asking whether you can rip off another truck.
Yeah.
Or the same truck. Or
Different truck. I just want to know, is it all right for me to help Bear steal a truck? Because, you's my boss, ain't you?
Yeah. As your boss, yeah. Sure, I mean, what's the worst that could happen, right? Nothing. Nothing could possibly go wrong. Yeah, Basil see you straight, Spring. He'll look after you. He'll look after me as well. He'll give me a cut. If he knows what's good for him.
Yeah. That's what he said too. That's what he said. And she pulls out another handful of pills that she puts into your hand.
Okay, I'll put these ones in the pocket, I think.
So I'm allowed then, yeah? I'm allowed, yeah?
Yeah. You got my blessings, Spring.
Right, then that's settled. Now, if you don't mind, I have been cordially invited to shake my booty.
Okay, so I've absolutely no idea what I've agreed to, but we'll just have to see it through. So, okay.
She dumps a third load of white pills into your hand.
Okay, I shall.
And sprints off to the dance floor.
And she sprints off, I'm going to say, just take care of yourself, Spring. She's probably not going to hear me.
She does. She begins gyrating between what appears to be two rather well-dressed people that look like they might be lesser nobles that are slumming it down here.
I'd like to head over to Consuela, please.
Okay.
Put my arm around her. I'm still sweating badly of Obscura. Calm down. And I want to just whisper into her ear, or not whisper, but talk quietly into her. I'm going to say, this one here is a friend of mine. Keep an eye on you, would you? I'd be most upset if anything happened to her.
Whatever you say, I say.
Consuela basically tells you that she already knew Spring was a friend of yours because the first thing Spring did when she ran in was run around telling everyone she was a friend of Canny's. And Consuela also adds, I like her, yo. She a sweet girl. We look after her, you no worry.
I'm going to scrutinize Consuela.
Yeah, go for it.
I'll plus 10 for sight. Yeah, that's a pass.
Yeah, she means it. And not only does she mean it, there's a glint in her eye that says she maybe has her eye on Spring in a different way.
Okay, I'm going to give Consuela a wink, and I'll head back to Veneta.
Okay. And as you're heading back, you see Spring dancing between these two young noble people. And they both press up to her very closely, rubbing up and down on her. And the male of the two offers her a drink. And you see the predatory glint in his eye as she takes it and throws it back. And you notice the perfect timing with which she does this. In a brief moment of darkness, as the lights strobe and pulse, from where the other nobles are, they don't see what you see. Spring tosses the liquid over her shoulder. And with her other hand, she lifts a fat wallet from the man's pocket and winks across the dance floor. And you see the DJ wink back. Veneta, as you approach her, says, it's going to be hard work getting her to leave tonight.
Yeah, I'll make sure maybe stick around here. You know, it's a dangerous place. Don't want to leave you alone here. I'd ask Spring to look after you, but I think she's not in position to not look after anyone, is she?
Now, she's a bit of a wild one, that girl.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
Vanetta looks really out of place in her Mac and hat in her detective outfit. And she says, What did she give you?
Oh, just some pills.
What have these pills done, actually? I've taken a couple. Do I feel anything from it?
So you do feel a little buzz. You feel adrenaline surging through your body. Everything seems to be moving faster, and you feel good. You feel happy. You feel like nothing fucking matters but the moment. And you start to move a little to the beat of the music.
Yeah, I mean, seemed pretty weak to me, Vanetta, to be honest.
Make a fellowship test at plus 25 again.
No pass.
Maybe you should take some more.
Oh yeah, why'd you say that? I didn't think you approved of my excesses.
She looks at you and Vanetta still looks very innocent, very lost in the world. She obviously hasn't yet found a place, and she's got this whole conflict within her. But she looks up at you from beneath the brim of this wide hat and says, well, maybe it's time I started living. And she holds a hand out to you.
Oh dear. I'm gonna take out one of the tablets. I'm gonna put it in half.
Mhm.
Give her a half dose. And then I'll take another couple and the half.
Okay.
I like it.
Vanetta pops the pill in her mouth next to Ploin Juice and gives you a smile.
Oh dear. Okay, no work today. I'm going to stay with Vanetta, and guess we're just going to party here in Blood Millers for a little while.
Work out your good folks' relationship with your girlfriend.
I can't make out exactly what you say there, Hayden.
Say, work out your good folks' relationship with your new girlfriend.
The next few hours are a blurry montage as the pills kick in. A series of increasingly more ridiculous vignettes. Shots are downed at the bar. You, Spring, and Vanetta slamming back shot after shot after shot. Vanetta begins to let her hair down, literally. The hat comes off. She persuades you to give her another pill. And then the dance floor, Spring and Vanetta dancing together, laughing uncontrollably, beckoning you to join them. Vanetta whispering in your ear something about a cogs are wobbly, and she bursts out laughing. More drinks. Spring has appeared with a random guy. He's staring at her with a stupid grin on his face, and then he's gone. Spring hands you another handful of thrones. 12 thrones, Kenny. Vanetta looks on, briefly looking disapproving, and then bursts out laughing and takes another pill, and then another, and you take more. The dance floor again. Vanetta has shed her coat. She's wearing the dress, the one you wore on your date. She still looks out of place, but she doesn't seem to care. You're sitting at the bar. Vanetta's on your knee. She throws back another drink. She's no longer on Ploin Juice. She takes another pill. She kisses you. Spring stands behind Vanetta, making retching motions. The dance floor again. Spring begins chatting to a stunning, striking woman with bright red hair, dressed in a shimmering but rather revealing outfit of silver, black, and red. She looks fantastic. The woman leads Spring off to the toilet, smiling at her all the way. Spring leans into Vanetta as she passes you by, and you hear her yell, 2 minutes, come find me. More drinks, another pill. You're doing the can-can with Consuela and Diego, a load of other people you don't even know. Spring and Vanetta are back on the dance floor, laughing, bouncing up and down. Vanetta's wearing a revealing red outfit of red, black, and silver. Spring has a few drops of blood on her vest and a smear of blood on her forehead. A man dances over to them, close to Venetta. He rubs up against her. You break out of the dancing line and you head straight for him. The man lies crippled, broken behind the bar, his neck bent at an awkward angle. There's blood on your fists. The party doesn't stop. Venetta and Spring skipping towards the exit, beckoning you to follow. Out on the street, Spring rides around on the back of the hulking Ogren doorman, who flails ineffectively at her as she keeps just out of reach. Venetta gawps open-mouthed. Her eyes are glazed over. She murmurs something about bread. A burger stall. Somebody paid, presumably. Venetta eats. It seems to help. Sanctuaries in the street, patrolling the workers' house district. The fuck are they doing here? Dead sanctuaries. Spring holsters a smouldering silence pistol. A yell. A dozen more sanctuaries. Leg it! Yells Spring. Venetta starts pissing herself with laughter. You snatch her up, carrying her on your shoulder. She plays a beat on your wobbling ass cheeks as you flee from the law. You stumble down the street. Another pill. Spring takes 3. She's wearing someone else's boots. Venetta is still laughing. She's wearing a sanctuary helmet. Where did you get the servo skull? Back in Ludmilla's den. Show me a room.
Yeah.
Venetta demands. And you show her. And she shoves you in the door, kicking the door shut behind you as she follows you in.
I shouldn't have smashed the place up, should I?
Yeah, it's pretty fucked right now, mate.
Oh, dear.
There you go, train spotting style vignette.
Very good.
And then it's Siegfried when he comes back.
Cool.
Fairness, do you want to do Fairness while Siegfried's away?
Yeah.
Go for a slash. I'll be right back.
All right. Fairness, what you doing?
I'm going to go and do a bit of shooting at the shooting range. Okay.
Yeah. Shooting range practice.
Yeah, he's going to get his heavy store out of the blank shot. Loads of targets.
Yep. I mean, there's plenty of like bog standard heavy stubber ammunition, so you don't even have to knock any off your character sheet. There's loads in the armory, so you can use some of that.
It's such a hard and call for my game.
It's what, sorry?
It's such a different call for my game.
all games are totally different, Hayden. I've only ever GM'd and played in Alan's game, but I've read a lot of stuff about other people and spoke to other people, and no two games feel the same. Everyone does things different, and that's the point of it.
Yeah,
You know, there is no rule. It's about having fun.
I know. I think I've got it. For you both. You'll both enjoy it. It's not going to be the same way as you do on, the same way as Alex do on.
A bit of advice that I'll give to you that I wish someone had given to me when I first started, and I've only just started to learn this myself, is if you watch people's faces, which is harder over the internet than it is in real life, you'll see what people enjoy and what they don't. And you can feed back off that, and you can go, well, everyone liked that, so I'll do that more, but only those people like that, so I'll leave that person out of that, but I'll give them something else. And then every now and then experiment with something new and see how people respond. And that's one of the things I'm doing now with this. I'm seeing how people respond to this whole thing.
Yeah, it's my game when first. I've got shitloads to take in, Dave.
Yeah.
It's a big step.
Yeah, it is. And especially, like I think Alan said, it's a big step. It's the thing is, you've done really well, like creating a game where you've got a limited world where it's a prison, so you haven't got an entire world to worry about. The problem you've got is you've got 2 GMs
who are awkward and fickle,
and we'll go out the way to do stupid shit, like because we know what you can get away with and what you can't.
It's okay.
Honestly, Hayden, the phrase you need to learn, and I learned this a couple of years back when I started watching Critical Role, the phrase you need to learn is you can try. Like, always let people try stuff. Never say no.
Of course.
And then you won't go wrong.
explanation why you should do something.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
But in a way, like Alan said, it's a tricky situation for your first game to be 2 GMs. But on the other hand, I think there's a benefit to having 2 GMs as your first 2 players.
Well, it's going to teach me through my whole gaming experience.
Yeah. Because, you know,
There's loads of stuff I don't know, and I need to fill in the gaps. I'll make notes and re-watch it back and learn it.
it's like, you know, if you get a group of entirely new players, that's the hardest group to run, I think, Alan. What do you reckon?
Well, honestly, I don't know if I've had any groups where it's been total newbies. I think I did a lot of role playing at uni, and for the most part, I was role playing with other role players who had also done a bit before. So I don't think I've ever done like a complete noob squad. Like, for example,
really
you've got
hard.
your D&D, and I can imagine it being very difficult.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've got much experience with that myself.
It's
I told you, I thought that game, I thought it was doomed. I thought you were skinning on real thin ice, and it sounded like it was just a horror story that wasn't going to work. So
it was a horror story that was on the edge of collapsing.
Yeah, and I've never had one that's been that precarious.
But a group of people that have never played before, they're always saying, "Can I do this? Can I do this? I don't know what to do here." Whereas people that have played multiple times will always think of something to do. You put someone in a social situation, they will always do something, even if all they do is just stand there and go, "I nod." You know, they will always respond. But a group of brand new players don't understand that it's give and take. And you'll do a little, "Oh, my name is King Edmund. I hear you've travelled far across these lands to seek my aid. What can I do for you?" And then there's this silence.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like you have to lever it out of people.
My lands are dying.
Yeah.
Moving up poor.
And that's what I mean about that's the good side of having 2 DMs as players in your group, because Hayden won't get that. If Hayden says something, both me and you are going to be like,
we'll probably be able to just like start riffing off each other as quite.
Yeah.
Hayden might just be able to just sit there and like do nothing, and we'll still be having a blast, I would think. So.
But that's a good thing, because when you get more than one person that gets heavily into RP, it spurs other people on.
Yeah, well,
and like,
this is going to be a right heavy RP group.
Good. I'm more into the RP than the dice rolling, to be honest.
No, yeah, well, that's apparent.
World set and ready for you both to jump into, because that's what I've spent so much writing everybody and everything. It's all you can click on everybody and get a little bit of information from anybody. Got lots of character screens now.
There's only one group of people that had never played before that I've had as players that I was genuinely impressed with, and that was Johnny and Hayden when we started Dark Heresy. Like the Siegfried,
they've done plenty of role play. Though it's more like LARP.
Yeah, yes, exactly. But the Siegfried and Dix thing, and it was a combination of the history of LARP and the fact that they're real life friends. When we started doing Darker, it was like it was a joy to behold these 2 new players who instantly just fucking fell onto it and grabbed it with both hands. Is that a Jedi robe?
No, it's Jacob robe.
Yeah.
But
I'm just gonna go for a piss. I'm sorry,
guys. I'm gonna bow out. So we're having some issues with the kids. Sarah's not very well, so I'm gonna have to tonight. But thank you. It's been good session so far. I'll play catch up at some other point, Dave.
Yeah, that's fine, mate. If before the next session you do have like an hour, it'll only take an hour with one person. And we'll skim over anything you missed tonight because we just got to your turn. So that's fine, mate.
I hope Sarah gets well soon, and I wish the best to you all.
Yeah, it's just basically, you know what I mean, just issues with Sarah. Yeah, she's not very well at the moment, so sinuses, I think it is, and so I've just had to sort some charges out as well for Kyle as well. She's got some issues with that, and then Jake. That's woke Jacob up kicking. So,
no worries, buddy.
I need to restore some order.
Okay, mate.
And get Grace settled as well. So I've got Grace here. Taking her to school in the morning. So, say bye,
yeah, buddy. See you a bit, buddy. He looks quite scared and worried as he should.
He's trying.
Who is this weird person?
No,
He's wary, is what he is.
he's wary.
He's not quite sure what to make of all that, are you, buddy? Eh?
No, he's a little cute. Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna love
Bye,
you guys.
mate. Take care, buddy. See you later. See you later,
Bye.
Jacob. Bye.
Good night, Johnny.
Bye. 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 Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Good night, Jacob. Okay, so to do on Siegfried's. All right. Next up is Titties. Titulos carrying on with Chainsword.
Yep. Forever.
Yeah. Forever.
He's going to end up as just Khan at this rate or something, isn't he?
That's what we want. Give him lots of hate mail as well to read while as fighting to make him more enraged. Pictures of him on the floor, pained. Yeah, it'll help.
All right. So Otto's day 6, I'll have to come back to. Venetta's day 6 was mostly covered by travelling here and bringing this hook and having a wild fucking time. Praxis.
Oh no.
What do you reckon, Hayden?
Fucking, why do you hate him so much? He's a really nice guy.
Don't like him. Right, practice. What shall we do? Practice. Let's. Practice goes on recruitment today.
Recruitment or setting up a cell?
So
Because
we
he's
don't
got.
have anyone left to do that with, do we?
Oh, hang on. You originally had 2. Did you not
Yeah.
get another one tonight?
No, but I don't think anyone's passed through Otto's. There's Otto's vetting to do before.
Oh
we
yeah,
do that.
Otto hasn't done any vetting. Yeah, so
Yeah,
Praxis.
he'll
Yeah.
do some vetting. Alan's right.
My notes just say Veneta clubbing. So what's Praxis doing?
I don't know. Hayden, what do you reckon?
Vetting,
There's no one to vet.
you know.
I don't think Praxis can vet. It's Otto. Otto's the vetter.
Yeah, Otto has to vet them before Praxis can do his bit. So what's he doing, mate?
Recruitment.
A bit of recruitment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, make a awareness test, please, for Praxis. I think he might have a bonus, actually. Day 6.
Tell us that. What else?
Yeah.
Because every time I click on it, it's just got Byron info, but no character sheet.
That's weird, that. Okay, he's got a +10 for a
Yeah,
start.
I think that's in your settings, Dave. I think.
Yeah, I don't know why, but it's... Oh, hang on. There we go.
I think it's because you've got it in one but not the other.
Yeah, that's right. I thought I'd put it in.
Yeah, I've
You
done
should
that
have it
myself.
now.
Oh, 1 second. Yes, it's what do you say? Awareness.
Awareness at +10 for Praxis, yeah.
40.
Yeah, he's not great. He's really not great at it.
That's shit. I hate him.
But it's cumulative, this. It's not like a pass or a fail. It's a cumulative effect.
Of course.
So, you know, he's getting there. Trantier. I'm going to skip what happens to Trantier. Because I needed Siegfried for that. Spring is with Canny and Veneta. All right. It's the end of your first week of power play. So just give me 1 second just to
What are the
check everything.
scores on the doors?
Let's have a look. So Canny. God damn it. Day 6. I can't believe I've got this incredible spreadsheet that tracks everything automatically. I just put in the degrees of success and it builds it all up. And I've got an entry that's broken it all that says self-indulgent drug taking.
I'm glad to break the system, Dave.
You have. You really have.
That pleases me more than perhaps
It-
anything else as far.
What's really weird is it kind of pleases me too.
No.
So let's have a look. Right now, yeah. Right now, Canny has a reputation with the underworld of 3. Every week, you will get the chance to use this reputation. You can spend it. You can't buy anything for 3, but say you had 10 reputation, you could spend that 10. You would still have 10, but you have spent it, if that makes sense. You've got 2 scores. You've got a cumulative total and another total. So you earn like reputation points, basically. So you can't do much with 3, and you can do even less with a -4 reputation. Sanchez. Gaius is currently in the lead, 15 reputation with the Arbeits, and 5 reputation with Justicar Drummond. And he has 5 knowledge of the underbelly. He needs 10 for something to happen.
Right.
Siegfried's missing. Siegfried's missing day 7. But up to day 6, he was -3 reputation, -2 with Lady Pagny, but he has 1 knowledge of the Apex. So he has made some progress, even though his reputation has slipped. All right. That's better. All right. I just need to make a quick note of something. Right, let's see if there's anything you can do with your reputation, Gaius.
Yeah.
Because you've earned a bit. There are various things you can do with this reputation.
Shove it behind my ears.
Reputation for men. From Yves Saint Laurent.
Yes. The smell. Passion.
Okay. So you haven't reached a trigger point. There is a trigger point where you begin to get more from your power faction. You haven't got that yet. There is also a trigger point where your reputation begins to mean more. You haven't quite got to either of those.
Let me just change my internet server. I think I'm still here, actually. Hello?
Hello?
Perfect. I'm still there.
Right, where's that gone then? Oh no, that's about something completely different. Somewhere here I have a document about spending reputation on your followers. Gaius. Here we go. So yeah, when you start to reach certain thresholds, you can spend like temporary versions of your reputation to improve your followers, which is in addition to XP that they can earn. So Gaius, Esther and Carell Yeah, they don't earn anything yet, but they're not far off. Basically, you're at like 15 rep now. When you get to 20, you'll be able to do something and improve them in some way. Okay, so it's day 8 on the farm. Gaius.
Yes.
What would you like to do, Gaius?
Power play. I've got one more fate point.
Okay, Gaius is doing power play. Low or high?
Hi.
High. Okay. Real fucking high, man.
I did it different last time, so this time I go for one I'm good at again.
Yeah. As long as you don't do it every single time, it should be fine.
I've been going alternative.
All right. So you go in high risk, inquiry, awareness, command, or scrutiny.
I'm going inquiry because I didn't do it last time. So.
Okay. You get a bonus from your reputation,
Okay.
which is plus 15.
15.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta re-roll that with fate point.
Okay, that's your last one, I think.
Yep. No, just nearly on the cusp.
All right. And then choice of how you gather knowledge, tech use, forbidden law, interrogation, or scrutiny.
I go for some interrogation because I've got prisoners.
Good call.
Give me a second. I keep I'll have it. Get rid of my character sheet every time. Give me a second.
Okay.
Interrogation. I found it. 1 day's minute. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't take my gun in this time.
Okay, so you've got 2 potential targets for interrogation. You've got Gen Ravikan, and you've also got a handful of the flesh cutters. Who are you interrogating?
I'm going to get a handful of flesh cutters because I don't think Gen Ravikan's going to talk.
All right. This takes you all day, and this is, the Arbite's own brand of interrogation. It's not about asking questions nicely. It's not about playing good cop, bad cop. It's not even about threats. It is about punching people in the mouth until they talk. And after a good few hours, eventually one of these young lads with these deep carved tattoos
Can I get some
begins to speak.
strength training bonus from using these guys as punch bag all day?
I track everything, Hayden. After a
That?
few hours, you get him to start to speak, and he tells you that the flesh cutters have begun to move into new business ventures over the past few months. And he tells you that Gen Ravakion came to them seeking 2 things. Something that they were willing to provide, and that you guys interrupted the deal before the commodities arrived. And the 2 things that Gen Ravakion were after were a set of lungs and a right leg, both of which were blood type A+, or A positive, rather.
So lungs are right leg.
Mm-hmm.
Blood type. Okay. Thank you.
It appears that the flesh cutters, who were so called because they cut their own flesh, have begun to branch out. They're no longer just into extortion and general petty terrorism. They seem to have developed a market for second-hand body parts. No penises, though, because that would be really weird. Okie dokie. Right. So after Gaius, I think we go back to Canny.
Okay, so what?
Canny,
Mhm.
first of all, you wake up in the morning in your filthy shithole Obscuraden room. And you
With a
are,
sore head.
yeah, very sore head. Whatever those pills were, they were really good. And you've had much worse come downs on lesser drugs. You had a great time. The come down's not that bad, but it's not great. Venetta is wrapped up in your sheet, in your bed, pinned to the wall, more or less by your bulk. And you hear a soft groaning from the edge of your bed, and you see a pair of boots sticking out from the end of your bed. And it's the pair of boots you saw Spring wearing last night that weren't hers. It appears Spring is in your room.
I don't remember how she got in there. Oh, must
Nope.
have been a night. Okay,
Oh,
I'm going to. I think I'm going to get up and I'm going to start rustling up some bacon sandwiches, which I've been practicing.
Okay. Okay, so give me a half intelligence test plus with a +10.
Oh my word! Oh no, that's not half. So yeah, it's still fail.
Yeah, they're not terrible. The fat's maybe still a little stringy, not crispy around the edges like it should be. Perhaps you forgot to butter the bread. Who knows? It's not perfect, but it's also not terrible. You're fairly confident nobody's going to die of food poisoning.
Okay.
And the smell of this cooking food wakes both Spring and Venetta.
I'll serve them up some breakfast.
Spring wolfs hers down without saying a word. Venetta takes the food from you, gives you a smile and a nod, thank you, and she begins to eat it.
Okay.
And you realise what's happening right now. Every time you've seen Venetta eat before, she's eaten modified food. Last night she was drinking, she ate a burger, and this morning she's eating your bacon sandwiches. What would you like to do?
Okay, I'll make myself a bacon sandwich now. I will probably light up an IO stick. I'll take off a few because I probably caned them last night.
Yeah.
Light up an IO stick. And I'll just wait for people to come around a little bit. I'm going to say,
Crazy night last night. I'm sure there was something about a sanctuary there. What's this helmet doing here?
The helmet is
Got blood on it.
Yeah, the helmet is covered in blood. There's a lot of blood, and it's just slumped on the floor. And next to it is also a servo skull. In fact, the helmet is on the servo skull.
Does anyone remember how we came past this?
Spring sort of peers at it for a moment and says, I remember something about him trying to arrest us for killing that bloke. And she draws her silenced pistol and says, yeah, I don't think he said much after that.
All right. Well, at least we're here and not in some cell. Could be worse, right?
Yeah, it could always be worse. Venetta's
Yeah.
very quiet.
Should maybe lay low. Maybe she should lay low for a bit, shouldn't we?
I mean,
They might be
Yeah,
looking for us.
I mean, yeah, if you want to be a big pussy, Kenny, we'll lay low.
What you call me?
Oh, fucking come on! I'm only pulling your leg.
Oh,
You realise Spring is starting to get really ballsy.
my fucking head is splitting here, and you're fucking calling me names.
Here, and she chucks a bottle at you.
I'll take the bottle, sniff it.
Smells like blush.
All right. Got some of the good stuff, have you?
Just take the edge off, you know.
I shall have a bit of the hair of the dog.
Did you just
Pass-
roll dice?
Sorry?
Did you just roll dice?
No, I've not rolled any.
I saw
dice.
you rolling. No, I thought you saw you. I thought I saw you physically roll dice for some reason.
And I'm fiddling around with a bit of blue tack. I've always got to I don't know. I always like fiddling with something. I've got
I'm same, to be honest.
Okay, so careers test, right? Plus 30, is it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really doesn't help.
Now, Spring, tell me again about this fucking truck. Because I must confess, I didn't have a fucking clue what you were on last night. I'm not sure you knew what you were on about last night. You're trying to rip off another truck. What are these fucking trucks? Where these fucking trucks come from? And why the fuck what's Baz up to? Make it all make sense.
Okay, so first of all,
I'll have another swig of blush.
First of all, you are fatigued right now.
Okay.
At minus 10.
So.
Spring tells you that what she basically was trying to communicate to you last night was they stole this truck remarkably easily. And this was even after they failed really hard at stealing it. They still stole this truck.
You stole it from where? From who?
Well, from some lockup, you know. Baz said that it was just like a few people that worked the night shift doing paperwork. But when we got there was all these guys with guns. But we dealt with them. They're all dead. They're not going to be a problem.
All right. Sounds like Baz is getting a bit above his station, if you ask me.
Well, the thing is, Baz knows a
Getting
guy.
a bit cocky.
Baz knows a guy that will pay good money for that sort of truck in that sort of condition. And he was saying, if you wanted to be in on this, if you wanted to help out and allow me to help out, he would give you a good cut.
Yeah. I like cuts. It's right on my street, getting a big cut. All right. Yeah. Maybe. Maybe we could make a little money. I mean, nothing bad could happen, could it?
I mean, no, it was piece of piss.
Oh, good. Right. Okay. Well, that makes sense then. Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, we'll make it happen. Give us a shout. I'll come up. This place is fucking shit anyway. I'm sick of this fucking place anyway. Get back up Hive a bit.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Kenny.
No, it's not a pirate. It's actually down now, isn't it? So
yeah,
back down Hive where I belong.
The upstairs place is fucking brilliant, mate. But down here, you know, I mean, this ain't no mansion, is it?
No. Well, I've slept in worse places though.
Yeah, me too. Back home.
At least I got a bed. Hey?
Yeah,
And a bacon sandwich.
And at that, you look at Vanetta, who's really enjoying this bacon sandwich.
So what's your plan then, Spring? You plan to hang around here, or you know, I'm meant to be doing work, you know.
Well, you know, I was going to take V, fuck off back home today, and then see what happens. See where the day takes us.
All right, jolly good. And you're staying out of trouble, right? You won't get
always me trouble. No trouble.
I'm glad to hear. Glad to hear. Yeah. Did you? What happened to you and that bird in the toilet that you headbutted?
Well, let's put it this way: she ain't as pretty no more.
Did you try and take advantage?
No, I just stole her clothes.
Oh, all right. Okay, fair enough.
I mean, she was up for it, you know. She was like, she wanted to do something, but she didn't have a little worm to put in my pee-pee hole, so I don't really know what she was going to do.
I see. Oh, maybe she left a worm at home. I don't know.
Oh, dear.
Detachable. Wouldn't be the first time I've come across such a person.
Oh, no worries. Right, well,
They're always
yeah,
so on and
okay.
off.
Sorry?
They're always so on and off.
Spring and Canny are like a match made in heaven.
I'm gonna say.
You two brothers this time, are you? At least you're not brothers.
No, we're making making siblings. So.
yeah, but you will. You'll be. I'm looking forward to this. Very
Right.
much so. I need a template and everything from Dave. We've got one made. Let's have it.
So, Canny, what are you doing with the rest of your day?
I think I'm going to stay at home. I'm going to make a procession of bacon sandwiches. And then I'm going
Lots
to
of
eat,
food.
and then I'm going to eat them. Yes, I'm going to have a day of cooking. I think.
Okay. Spring and Vanetta do fuck off after about another hour or so. Vanetta's very unsteady on her feet. She doesn't even say goodbye to you. She just stumbles away. She's got no idea what's gone on.
Well, at least she probably hasn't noticed the state of the room. At least.
All right. So you're going to spend 8 hours. Or are you doing 8 hours of cooking? Or are you doing
Yeah. We'll do a full day of regular cooking today. I think.
Okay. Cool.
It's I can't face the outside world at the moment. So.
Cool. Okay. After that, it is Siegfried, I think. Yeah, Siegfried. And then it's Fairness. I'm just going to grab a beer.
No worries, mate. I have to say, do you say you're not done your history yet? When do you reckon you'll be able to get that done? Do you reckon you'll be able to
I'll
get it done
probably have
before
it. Yeah, I'll have it done tomorrow, definitely.
Okay, cool.
It's done. It's just not like 100% fleshed out. I've just got to add a few bits.
Cool.
So, yeah, I'll be done by tomorrow. Be right back. Hayden. Fairness is back up. What's Fairness doing?
I think Ferris should make
Hang on. Sorry, all I heard then was Alan putting his headset on. What did you say?
Sorry, guys.
It's all right.
Ferris is going to do a bit of time chilling back at the mansion.
Just chilling. So if he's not doing anything particularly productive in terms of skills or power play, if you want, you can do socializing.
I'll do some socialising with him. That's okay.
Yeah, cool. Who with?
He's going to go see your tits. He's
Yeah.
going to go train with him all day.
Training.
What
sort of training?
He's going to do a bit of melee training with his brother. I think he's getting really good with his trainer.
All right. So he will get 12 hours worth of training, melee related training, whereas Tichelos will only get 4. Basically, because Titulos is the expert, so he's concentrating on teaching. All right. After Ferenus, it's Titulos, which we already know is 4 hours melee. Then it's Otto, which we'll come back to.
I've got the
And it's-
toasted cooking.
Then it's Veneta. Veneta's going to spend some of her day traveling back.
And she's going to spend the rest of the day in bed.
She's got about 8 hours. What does she want to do?
I think she'd like to spend some time recovering, I think. That sounds...
Yep, cool. As a side note, Veneta really, really enjoyed herself last night.
Cool. It's probably the first time she'd done anything like that. So
Yes, it definitely is. She's had a drink here and there, and that's about it. Praxis. What's Praxis doing?
what do you reckon, Hayden?
Oh,
This is the best bit, watching Hayden get annoyed.
Francis is doing toughness training by smacking his balls with his hammer, and is going to pray devoutly while doing it. Oh,
Okay.
I smite thee, make them tough as iron. Yeah. No, he is not doing that. Francis will go and try bless anybody's armor.
Bless armor. Okay, so people that are in the mansion would be Ferenus, Titulos, Otto, Veneta,
2 seconds.
himself,
I can hear you.
and Spring. Yeah. By the way, Alan, you remember a session ago, Praxis blessed everyone's weapons.
Yeah, he blessed Canny's hook as well, didn't he?
Yes, he did. That lasts for the next combat encounter that you use that weapon in.
Okay.
And in the case of Veneta, you don't bless the firearm, you bless the ammunition.
Uh-huh.
So the next clip that Veneta uses would be blessed.
Okay. What does that do?
It doesn't do a lot unless the target is a specific type of target.
Okay.
You know, like demons and shit like that. Yeah. And the armor thing is similar. It's for the next combat encounter.
Okay.
So Ferenus, Titulos, Otto, Veneta, and Praxis and Spring have blessed armor. So in the next combat encounter, their armor is better against demons.
Okay.
After Praxis, we've got Trantia, we've done Trantia. Spring, what would you like Spring to do? So Spring can do personal improvement, traveling elsewhere, power play. She's going to have 4 hours of traveling home.
Yeah, I think I'll leave her on roam, I think. Leave her on roaming for a bit.
Okay.
Mix it up. See what that does.
So roaming is a hidden table that you guys don't see that I roll on behind the scenes, and it can lead to all sorts of weird and wonderful things. Basically,
Yeah, that's what we like. Well, so if she's stealing all the time, she's going to get caught. So we'll mix it up a bit.
Spring's got the potential with roaming to get in a lot of trouble, but also to get some really cool shit.
Mhm.
It's basically a bit more of a high-profile version of pilfering, but with a riskier element to it.
Oh dear. Okay.
But not. It's again. It's cumulative though. So
Okay.
All right. Day 9.
Goodness.
Gaius.
Mm-hmm.
So I can tell you what you did last time if you want. You did higher risk inquiry interrogation last time.
I'm going to go on an adventure again. Go on. Oh,
Pardon?
I'm going to go out in disguise with my own mesh and my civilian mugger-looking type wear on. And
Yep.
I'm going to go and infiltrate the city again, listening and trying to find out. Ooh, I had a good alien vibe last time. I don't know what I found out. Should I go look? Well, that's my mission. I'm going to look at the same thing again.
All right. So last time, where were we? That was when you interrogated Gaius.
Guys walking around the city, checking everybody, looking around all the alleys, seeing people walking dodgy, seeing deals going left and go looking for.
Yeah. So you were asking around after Xenos relics, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So do an inquiry test, please, at +20.
+20, did you say?
Yep.
Good. That's not good.
Yeah, you're not so lucky today.
Mm.
You don't find much. So that'll be 2, 6. Give me another roll at +20.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. You hear a few more rumors of groups that deal in this sort of trade. And you hear the name of a group of smugglers that are known to operate on Desilium and beyond. It's a name you've heard before. It's called, the trade in general is called the cold trade. This is trade in Xenos relics, even live Xenos, all sorts of stuff. The cold trade is something that refers to trading in anything forbidden. You hear a name of a particular group, which I'm just going to find for you when this loads. When it loads. Right. Oh, sorry. You don't just hear it referred to as the cold trade. You also hear the entire trade in forbidden artifacts known as the the faceless trade. And you hear mention of a group known as the Trade Sable, who are known to operate on this planet. And you've heard that name before. Yeah. That was the name of Zaxhol Thane, worked for the Trade Sable.
Oh, Trade Sable.
Canny, what are you doing?
I'm gonna crawl out of my pit.
Mm-hmm.
A few leftover bacon sandwiches. tucked away for later. I'm going to go and do a bit of the low risk.
Like a bear.
Like a bear. Bears are renowned for carrying bacon sandwiches around with them as they head out of their den.
Bacon sandwiches for later.
So yeah, I'll do the low risk. I don't trust myself at all on the high risk, especially not without a fate point. So I'm going to go for working for King Sanchez, please.
Yep. So you gain automatically rep with both the Underworld and King Sanchez, and also make a peer Underworld test, which is Fellowship plus 10.
Oh.
All right. Come back to Siegfried another time.
So,
Pardon?
What's Ferinus doing today, Hayden?
Fairness is going to socialise.
Okay, who's he socialising with?
Actually, no. Fairness will probably go train one of the new basic recruitment. Well, it's going to go recruiting. It's going to go recruiting again.
Okay, so he's recruiting.
Yeah.
All right, let me just go back. He's got... Yep, okay. So make an awareness test at plus 10 again, please.
Okay.
In fact, no, plus 20, because you got a critical the last time you did this. So you've got a feel for where the good people are, or at least the appealing people.
I don't understand.
Yeah. It's a bit of a wasted day. You don't find anyone.
Yeah, just walking around like a weirdo.
It's been a strange man on a strange week. Titulos. What's Titulos up to?
He's going to chop some wood with a chainsaw.
I'll put him down as chainsaw training.
I like that style. I feel like
I can't hear you very well, Haven, mate.
I say I like that, Alan. I like that answer, Alan. It makes me feel like home. Chop some wood with chainsaw. Yeah.
Your only regret is you don't have a sword-shaped chainsaw, isn't it? You know, that's your only regret.
They're close. You could get a dagger-shaped one from a batch of
yeah.
well, extra deadly.
Veneta.
Okay, she's come around a bit now. She's gonna do a bit of work towards a new cleaver for Kenny.
Okay, let me just find where we were with that. God, I've got some notes tonight. This is ridiculous.
Well, it's a problem of your own making, sir.
That's true. That's true. Not going to complain about it. So you did that much, and then he went on to move on to that. So, so are you doing anything out of the ordinary to this?
Like I say, could I have some time to think about that, or do we need to decide that now?
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah.
I wouldn't mind having a little think on it, because at the minute I've not got anything, but I might need to have maybe a look through some books, or maybe look for some inspiration from somewhere. But at the moment, I'm not quite sure.
Yeah. Okay.
I think one thing which I think he really needs on it is something that will stop it from getting destroyed by parries from power weapons.
Right.
So that's
two ways. There's two ways of doing that in the rules. The first is to make it a power weapon. The other is, I don't know if you've come across this in the Lathe World books, there's a weapon called a Lathe Blade.
No, I've not come across that. Let's have a little look at that.
Basically, it cannot be destroyed by power weapons. And it's basically a weapon made on the Lathe Worlds, which are a trio of, very fancy Forge World places. Veneta kind of has a link to such places. So she could do that.
Let's have a little.
But it's going to be really, really difficult to do.
Sounds good. But let me just have a little look. So lathe, is that weapons of the lathes, I assume?
Yeah. Don't know where it is. I don't know what page it's on.
Well, I'm starting at page 59. Lathe pistol, lathe rifle, plasma, mass drivers.
It's generally
melee weapon.
Yeah.
Omnisire rod, venator blade. I don't see the lathe blade here in the lathe worlds. There's percussion mallet, Omnisire rod, venator blade. What are you thinking of? Plus 15 weapon skill, cannot be destroyed by a power field.
Nope. No, there's something called a lathe blade because Seraph has 2.
Okay, let's try another approach. Try lathe blade 48 Heresy. See if there's a link to where we need to be. Lathe blade master armory. So it's in Inquisitor's Handbook, page 147.
That's why we can't find it. We're looking in the wrong book.
Let's try that then. 147. There we go. Weapon upgrade. Loses primitive, plus 2 damage, plus 3 pen, plus 10 weapon skill. Cannot be destroyed. Automatically best craftsmanship. Cannot be combined with mono. Yeah, it looks pretty awesome. So I think, I think that seems good to me.
Yeah. And Veneta does have a bit of training in not making these, but she's maintained them. So we can kind of extrapolate from that. She might be able to make one, but it might take a little longer.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Or might need some special
bits
and bobs. But yeah, I think we'll work towards that. That looks pretty cool. So.
All right. So first of all, give me 2d10.
2d10. Just straight d10, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, 5 and a 3.
Okay. That's for how long it's going to take to make it. This is something out of her remit, and it's a really high quality thing. That's days. So that's 8 days to make the blade.
Okay.
It's a highly refined thing. So.
3 days.
So for this day, if you want to work on that, I'm gonna set it. You get a plus 20 for the workshop. I'm gonna give you a minus 10 for the difficulty, so a plus 10 total.
Okay. No. I've used both my fate points because I used one on a thermos flask.
That's that day done. It's not been done by the hour at the moment, so that's probably done you a favour. Next up, it's everybody's favourite. It's Praxis.
Praxis is
So, what do you reckon, mate?
Praxis is going to go and train with his hammer.
Gonna what? Sorry.
Train with his hammer.
Hammer training. Okay.
Yeah.
Righty-ho. Trantier. God damn it, Johnny. Have you noticed Johnny's tactic? He logs out earlier so he can monopolise the first hour of the game and then fucks off.
I don't think he had much choice in it today, so.
Oh, no, I'm only joking. Spring, what would you like Spring to be doing?
We'll put her on pilfering, I think, today.
Pilfering.
Yeah,
Little bit of pilfering.
A little bit of honest pilfering.
All right. Has anyone got access to Spring?
I don't think so.
Well, I'll say fucking about. I'll do it. So it's sleight of hand check. Besides, I like Spring, so I like to roll for her because she's mental. Spring's partially based on 3 different people that I know.
That's fantastic.
Oh, she failed today. That's the first time she's failed, though.
Alas.
How 3 different people are they, Dave?
One of them is what? Well, the only one you'd know, Hayden, is Charlie. There's a little bit of Charlie in there.
Huh?
When Charlie was like in her real mad phase, that's what she could be like bouncing from one topic to another and not making a lot of sense. Ow, my ass has gone to sleep. Right, that's day 9. What time are we on? 10 o'clock nearly?
About 10 o'clock.
Do you want to do another day?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okie dokie. At this point, I have no idea how far forward you've moved anything, if you've moved anything, because I've stopped tracking that. I'll work it out tomorrow. You might have broken the timeline. Not the precious timeline. Gaius.
Guys, gonna. Guys is going to do a job for Drummond.
You're going to work for Drummond. You're going to do some power play.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Low or high risk?
Low.
Low.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you automatically gain +1 rep with both of them. But I also need you to do a peer Arbeits test, please, which is fellowship +10.
Drummond, do you see the awesome effort I've made?
No, I don't, because I'm actually a secret heretic.
Okay. I'll have to melt you into your face.
You do realise that we've nearly covered as much time in the last 2 sessions than we have in the previous 38 sessions.
That's because of power play.
Exactly,
what
that's
was
the point
your
of
name with the stats?
Fellowship +10, please.
Come on, guys. Down this bottom screen. Fellowship. I'm there. Yes, failed.
I'm not seeing it on my screen.
No, it's not come up on my screen.
What have you got, Hayden?
I'll try again.
If you'd have passed, would you try it again?
No, the last one hasn't completed. That's correct what I'm saying.
Sometimes there's a lag and it takes ages.
Yeah,
No, that's total slight pattern.
sometimes, I've noticed that you get when you get lag, it seems to affect 50% of the players. That's really weird.
I'm a rolling fairness.
In my games where I have 6 players, 3 people will get lag and 3 won't. It's really fucking weird. Yeah, you're rolling for Fairness. No, sorry, you're rolling for Gaius.
Guys, and it's what again?
Fellowship at +10.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, it's just come through. Yeah, 2 have just come through.
What was my first one?
1 degree of failure.
Oh, yeah, that's one less, but
I mean, it's bonus stuff, so you're not going to lose anything.
oh, okay. I can't pay for it anyway.
No. Canny day 10.
I'll do another working for King Sanchez, just another low risk.
Okay. So +1 rep. And give me a peer Underworld. please.
Nope.
Okay, cool. Let me just update the spreadsheet. Gaius.
Yes.
Low. Sorry, I'm not after your attention. I just muttering to myself.
Got me all set.
Kenny.
No power, isn't there? Thanks, Dave.
Oh God. Oh no, I've dropped a bollock here. Day 8 was what was Dave Kenny?
Another low
Yeah,
rate with no pass on my fellowship.
Yeah, I've got it written down. I just didn't fucking put it in the spreadsheet for some reason. No.
Yeah.
Okay. It's Siegfried. And it's Fairness.
Oh. Right, okay. Fairness is going to spend a bit of time in his dorms getting drunk today.
He's going to what? Sorry.
Spend a bit of time in his dorm getting drunk. He's still a soldier. He's even
Just-
going to comms to Titulos and see if you want stuff again.
So hanging around getting drunk.
Yeah.
Cool. Titulos is right after him. Titulos will always hang around and get drunk with his brother. But if you want to try and rope anyone else into this, you can.
I reckon we should get practicing on it.
Yeah. I'll invite Praxis.
Let's get to know some of his trouble past a bit more. Maybe we'll like him more, right?
All right.
All our characters can murder him. Right,
So I'm gonna need a fellowship test of fairness.
No, we don't practice very well. This mystical term I hate.
All right.
Well, Killjoy's +25. Go practice. No wonder you dress cloth for a bastard. Sorry, I hate practice. That's the worst guy ever.
I mean, the rep table says different, but okay. So Fairness and Titulos are hanging out today, getting drunk.
Yeah.
Other people that are in the mansion. I'll list them: Gladstock, Les, Missy, Otto, Praxis, Spring, Veneta,
It's going Spring
Hench,
and
Jarek, and Susie.
Suzuki. Mission Buddies.
So you're inviting Spring and Susie.
Yeah. Get like an old girls' party for all the best chances.
Okay. I'd like to make a fellowship test for fairness. With a +10, please.
I'm gonna try and get one fake point first.
Yeah, he's not used any, has he? So
Yes.
what have you got?
It's 36.
Yep. And then I would also like you to make another fellowship test at +7, weirdly.
+7. Goodness. Is that me echoing?
No.
No.
Okay, Susie Suzuki. Yeah, she's not interested. She's got a day planned. But spring's fucking coming. And I'd like you to make another fellowship test, please, at +10.
Yes.
Yeah, and you, Ferinus, and Tichelos spend the day drinking with Spring. And during the day, a few other people pop their heads in. Mainly Jeeves, repeatedly, just trying to clear up after you. But also, Otto sticks his head in briefly, says hello, maybe has a little nightcap towards the end of the evening. Praxis does pop in. He doesn't say much, but it seems that he often visits the bar. And towards the end of the night, the door opens, and you see Jarek Cross, the man with the metal jaw, just push the door open, look in, and then let the door swing shut again.
Is Praxis still there?
Praxis is there for maybe half an hour, 40 minutes, and he has a glass of wine.
Did he say anything?
Not really. He kind of keeps to himself, unless you approach him. Ferris is going to what? Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Say, you rude bastard to Praxis.
And that definitely drives him off. Okay, so that's Ferinus and Tichelos' day done. Okay. Otto, 2BA. Otto's got a lot of TBA. Veneta.
We'll put Veneta on crafting Molly Mark II.
Another day on the lathe blade.
Yeah.
This is a really precise weapon. It's going to take a lot of time. Okay. Give me a trade armor roll at +10, please.
You'll be on the wrong character sheet. Armor at +10, yeah?
Yes, please.
That's a slight fail.
All right. It's Praxis. I'm taking him out of your hands.
Your Praxis rights have been vetoed.
No. It's not about that. It's not that I've taken him away from you permanently. It's just today he's doing something.
Crying himself to sleep because he was driven away.
Himself to die.
Oh, how did I do anything with that fucking Thermos thing for Johnny? Or did I how far?
Did 1 hour.
Did 1 hour.
Right. That's basically like design phase. The idea of hiding a pistol in a gun was probably it might need another hour of design before you actually start building it.
I should probably do that before because I talked about that and then I fucked it off and started crafting for Kenny again. So yeah, probably go back onto the Thermos gun for.
End of the day, it's Otto. Who gives a shit? He's just this weird little fucking hunchback nerd.
But Johnny will probably forget about it as well. Actually,
yeah, he will. He will. You know, he will. It's spring.
I'd like to spring to practice her slap hand.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. All 8 hours?
Yeah, just skill training on that.
Cool. I would like Let's have a think. Ferinus and Veneta. In fact, I'm going to split this up. Hayden, if you can do Ferinus and Praxis, I know you fucking hate him, but I want you to make an awareness test for Ferinus and Praxis.
Okay.
Veneta, do you want to do... Alan, do you want to do Veneta and Spring?
Sure, I don't have Spring's couch sheet, but
Yeah, I'm going to give you it.
okay.
First awareness test for fairness for me. And next one, Praxis. Praxis piece of shit.
Right, you should have it now, Al.
I do not see it, mate.
So I pass the fairness.
No.
Praxis.
Oh, God, I've clicked on the wrong thing. I do apologise. Try now.
Yep, that's it. Okay, Spring's passed, but Veneta has failed.
Okay, so what was your first one, Hayden? That was Ferinus, was it?
Yeah.
Your second one was Praxis.
Mm-hmm.
Canny, what did you get?
So Veneta rolled 1 degree of failure, and Spring rolled 2 degrees of success.
Okay, so who's left? Otto. Titulos. I'm going to do Titulos. I don't know if Trantia's there or not. She might be. Who knows? God damn you, Johnny. This is your fault. You've thrown the timeline out of whack.
Dun dun dun.
Dun.
Okay. Yeah, we'll deal with that next time. So that's the day 10.